Are you waiting for fate to crown you, believing you're not special unless destiny intervenes? What if being chosen isn't about divine selection at all, but about recognizing the extraordinary potential that already lies dormant within you? And what if the very things you consider your flaws, your deepest struggles, are actually the keys to unlocking dormant spiritual powers that could drastically improve your life and the lives of those around you? Ancient spiritual traditions, like Buddhism and Taoism, have long emphasized the inherent potential for enlightenment and self-mastery that resides within each of us. Echoes of this wisdom are found in modern positive psychology, with studies consistently demonstrating how resilience and overcoming adversity are critical catalysts for personal growth and a profound sense of purpose. Throughout history, many individuals hailed as chosen weren't born into privilege or blessed with innate advantages. Instead, they faced immense challenges and transformed those very obstacles into extraordinary strengths, ultimately making a lasting impact on the world. These signs of being a chosen one are often subtle indicators, easily dismissed or tragically misunderstood, requiring a fundamental shift in perspective to truly recognize. Why do so many people struggle to recognize their own potential? Because from an early age, you've been conditioned to focus on your weaknesses, to conform to societal expectations, to fit neatly into predefined boxes. You've been programmed to seek validation externally, rather than cultivating the immense power that lies within. This insidious programming leads to feelings of unfulfillment, a persistent lack of purpose, and a gnawing sense of being stuck in a life that feels utterly disconnected from your true self. But the truth is, there is a way out, a path to awakening your dormant potential and reclaiming your authentic power. By understanding the 7 signs of being a chosen one, you can unlock these dormant spiritual powers, begin living a more meaningful and fulfilling life, and make a profoundly positive impact on the world around you. This journey of self-discovery isn't about striving to become someone else. It's about embracing the magnificent being you already are, shedding the limiting beliefs that have held you captive for far too long. In this video, we will explore 7 signs that indicate you may be a chosen one with dormant spiritual powers, providing actionable steps to awaken these powers within you. We will examine each sign through the lenses of psychology, philosophy, and practical application, revealing how they manifest in your everyday life and the specific power that accompanies each one. By the end of this video, you will have a clear understanding of your own unique potential and the tools you need to finally unlock the chosen one that resides within. So, let's begin. What if your intense emotions, that well of deep feeling you've been told to control, to minimize, to even be ashamed of, is not a burden but a signpost? What if that sensitivity isn't a weakness, but the very key to unlocking extraordinary potential you never knew you possessed? The truth is, deep empathy, often dismissed as mere sentimentality, is a key indicator that you may be a chosen one, someone with a heightened capacity for understanding and connecting with others on a profoundly spiritual level. This innate ability to feel the emotions of others, to truly resonate with their joys and sorrows, isn't just a personality trait. It's a dormant spiritual power waiting to be awakened, a force that can transform not only your own life, but the lives of those around you. Empathy goes far beyond simple sympathy or feeling sorry for someone. It's the ability to truly understand and share the feelings of another person, to step into their shoes and experience the world from their perspective, often feeling those emotions as if they were your own. Think of it as a kind of emotional telepathy, an intuitive knowing that transcends words and connects you directly to the heart of another. Psychological studies on emotional intelligence, or EQ, have consistently demonstrated that individuals with high EQ are more successful in virtually every aspect of life. They build stronger relationships, excel in leadership roles, navigate complex social situations with ease, and report higher levels of overall life satisfaction. But here's what most people miss. EQ isn't just about social skills. It's about tapping into a deeper level of human connection, a spiritual resonance that allows you to truly understand and support others. Briefly, consider neurological research, which increasingly suggests mirror neurons in the brain play a key role in empathy, allowing us to mirror the emotions of others and understand them on a deeper level. These specialized neurons fire both when we perform an action and when we observe someone else performing that same action, creating a neural bridge between ourselves and others. Deep empathy manifests in many ways: a natural ability to comfort others in distress, a fierce sense of justice and outrage at injustice, an intuitive understanding of unspoken needs and desires, and a deep-seated compassion for all living beings. However, unchecked empathy can lead to emotional exhaustion and burnout. Constantly absorbing the emotions of others without proper boundaries or self-care can leave you feeling drained, overwhelmed, and even resentful. The key, then, is to learn how to channel your empathy, to transform it from a passive experience into a powerful force for healing, both for yourself and others. This is where the concept of emotional alchemy comes into play: the ability to transmute negative emotions, both yours and others, into positive ones through understanding, compassion, and skillful action. Imagine being able to walk into a room full of conflict, and instead of being overwhelmed by the negative energy, you can use your empathy to understand the underlying needs and fears of each person involved, facilitating a resolution that benefits everyone. You can develop your empathic abilities by practicing active listening, truly hearing what others are saying without judgment or interruption. Engage in mindful meditation to cultivate self-awareness, allowing you to better understand and manage your own emotions, preventing you from being swept away by the emotions of others. And most importantly, set healthy boundaries to protect your own emotional well-being, learning to say no to requests that drain your energy and prioritizing self-care activities that replenish your spirit. Understanding and transmuting these collective emotional fields may be a path to healing our wider society. So, deep empathy is not a weakness to be suppressed, but a powerful strength to be cultivated, a key to unlocking your latent spiritual powers and transforming the world around you. But what happens when empathy combines with another key trait, a sign that takes your connection to others and amplifies it into a connection with the world itself? What if your deep connection to others is amplified by an unusual connection to the world around you, a sense of knowing that goes beyond logic and reason? The next sign we'll explore is intuition, suggesting it's a natural extension of empathy, allowing you to read situations and people with uncanny accuracy, going far beyond the obvious. We'll reveal how to harness this intuition for guidance, protection, and even manifestation, unlocking another layer of your dormant potential. What if that gut feeling, that subtle hunch you often dismiss as irrational or just plain weird, is actually a sophisticated form of perception, processing information far beyond the reach of your conscious mind? What if these fleeting intuitions are not mere coincidences, but signals from a deeper intelligence, offering guidance and insight that logic alone can never provide? Here's the truth: intuition is a key sign that you may be a chosen one, not as a mystical figure destined for greatness, but as an individual with a heightened ability to perceive subtle patterns and connections in the world around you, a world teeming with unseen information. This capacity for intuitive insight is a dormant spiritual power, offering access to knowledge and guidance beyond the limitations of rational thought, potentially unlocking a far more profound understanding of yourself and your place in the cosmos. But intuition isn't just random guessing, a shot in the dark hoping to hit the mark. It's a form of implicit learning, a process where your brain unconsciously recognizes patterns and makes predictions based on a vast storehouse of past experiences, observations, and subtle cues that you may not even be aware of. Think of it like a supercomputer constantly analyzing data in the background, identifying correlations and anomalies that your conscious mind simply can't process quickly enough. Psychological studies on pattern recognition and decision-making have consistently shown that intuition can lead to faster and more accurate judgments, especially in complex, uncertain situations where time is of the essence. Consider, for example, research on expert chess players who can often intuitively sense the best move without consciously analyzing all the possible variations. They've trained their brains to recognize patterns and anticipate outcomes through years of experience, allowing them to tap into a level of intuitive understanding that surpasses logical calculation. What if this same capacity exists within you, waiting to be awakened and refined? Briefly consider the philosophical perspectives from thinkers like Carl Jung, who viewed intuition as one of the 4 primary psychological functions, a way of perceiving possibilities and potential beyond the realm of concrete facts. Intuition manifests in countless ways in our everyday lives, often so subtly that we barely notice it. Have you ever known who was calling before you even answered the phone? A sudden sense of recognition washing over you the moment it rings. Have you ever sensed danger lurking just around the corner, an inexplicable feeling of unease that prompts you to take a different route? Or have you ever had a sudden, unexpected insight that instantly solves a problem that has been plaguing you for days, the answer seemingly appearing out of thin air? These are all examples of intuition at work, glimpses into the vast reservoir of unconscious knowledge that lies dormant within you. What if these seemingly random occurrences are actually breadcrumbs on a path, clues leading you toward a deeper understanding of your own potential? But here's the thing. Heightened empathy, the ability to deeply understand and share the feelings of others, dramatically amplifies intuition, allowing you to read people and situations with even greater accuracy. Because you can feel their emotions, you're better equipped to anticipate their actions and understand their motivations, gaining access to a level of insight that would otherwise be impossible. It's as if empathy acts as a tuning fork, resonating with the subtle vibrations of others and amplifying your intuitive abilities. The key is that intuition can be cultivated and refined through specific practices, transforming it from a fleeting feeling into a reliable source of guidance, a trusted inner compass that can help you navigate the complexities of life. You can start by practicing mindfulness meditation, quieting the incessant chatter of your conscious mind and creating space for your intuition to emerge. By focusing on your breath and observing your thoughts without judgment, you can learn to become more attuned to the subtle signals from your intuition, the quiet whispers that are often drowned out by the noise of daily life. You might also try engaging in creative activities like journaling, painting, or music, allowing yourself to express your thoughts and feelings without censorship. These activities can provide a direct line to your unconscious mind, bypassing the limitations of logic and reason and unlocking hidden insights. Consider also paying attention to your dreams, viewing them as a source of symbolic communication from your unconscious mind. Keep a dream journal and look for recurring themes, symbols, or emotions that may be trying to convey a message. Dreams often speak in metaphors and analogies, requiring careful interpretation, but they can offer invaluable insights into your deepest fears, desires, and potentials. Imagine, for example, you are faced with making an important decision about a job offer. Using your intuition, you might close your eyes, take a few deep breaths, and ask yourself, which option feels more aligned with my true purpose? Pay attention to the physical sensations in your body, the emotions that arise, and any images or thoughts that come to mind. Do you feel a sense of excitement and expansion when you think about one option, or a feeling of unease and constriction when you consider the other? Trust these intuitive signals, even if they don't seem to make logical sense at first, or imagine you're navigating a complex relationship. By combining empathy and intuition, you can sense when something is amiss, even if your partner isn't explicitly expressing their feelings. You might notice subtle changes in their body language, tone of voice, or energy level that indicate they're struggling with something. Using your empathy, you can understand their unspoken needs and fears, and using your intuition, you can guide them towards the right form of support, whether it's a listening ear, a helping hand, or simply a comforting presence. Here's where it gets interesting. It's not all good. It's crucial to differentiate between genuine intuition and anxiety, recognizing that cognitive biases can distort intuitive insights, and to avoid the trap of relying solely on intuition without critical thinking. Anxiety can manifest as a racing mind, physical tension, and a sense of impending doom, often clouding your judgment and making it difficult to discern true intuition. Cognitive biases, such as confirmation bias, seeking out information that confirms your existing beliefs, or availability heuristic, overestimating the importance of information that is readily available, can also skew your intuitive insights, leading you to make inaccurate judgments. The key is to balance intuition with critical thinking, using logic and reason to validate your intuitive insights and ensure they are grounded in reality. So, intuition is a valuable skill that can be developed and used for guidance and decision-making, enhancing our connection to the world and those around us. But what if your intuition, amplified by empathy, is not only guiding you, but also compelling you to act, to create, to express something unique to the world, something that transcends your individual experience and touches the lives of others? What if this inner knowing is driving you toward a specific purpose, a mission that only you can fulfill? Next, we'll explore the powerful role of a strong creative impulse, suggesting that it's a natural outflow of intuition and empathy, a deep-seated need to manifest inner visions and insights into tangible form. We'll reveal how to harness this creative impulse to make a meaningful impact on the world, linking the chosen one archetype to a drive for innovation, positive change, and the expression of your authentic self. What if that persistent urge to create, to express yourself in some unique way through writing, music, building, or any other form, isn't just a pastime to fill idle hours, but a fundamental drive, a calling whispering to be answered, a force yearning to break free? What if this seemingly simple desire is a key indicator that you are a chosen one, not destined for fame or fortune, but possessing a unique perspective and the potential to bring something genuinely new and valuable into the world? Here's the thing. This creative impulse is a dormant spiritual power, a deep-seated need to manifest inner visions and insights into tangible form, waiting to be unleashed, yearning to leave your mark on the world, however large or small. Creativity isn't just about painting masterpieces or composing symphonies. It encompasses problem-solving, innovation, and the ability to see things from a different perspective, to connect seemingly disparate ideas and forge new pathways. Psychological studies on creativity and innovation consistently demonstrate its link to increased resilience, improved mental well-being, and a profound sense of purpose. People who engage in creative activities report higher levels of positive emotions, lower levels of stress, and a greater sense of meaning in their lives. Think about it. The act of creating something, whether it's a work of art, a new business, or a simple act of kindness, can be incredibly empowering, giving you a sense of agency and control in a world that often feels chaotic and unpredictable. Neurologically, creativity involves the dynamic interplay of different brain regions, particularly the default mode network, which is associated with spontaneous thought, imagination, and insight. When you're engaged in a creative activity, your brain is essentially unshackled, allowing for new connections and patterns to emerge, leading to those aha moments of inspiration. It's like your brain is a vast orchestra, and creativity is the conductor, bringing all the different instruments together to create a harmonious whole. This strong creative impulse manifests in countless ways in everyday life. Maybe you have a constant need to tinker with things, to improve them, to find new ways of doing things, constantly seeking efficiency and elegance. Maybe you possess a unique ability to solve complex problems, approaching challenges with a fresh perspective and an innovative mindset, able to see solutions where others only see obstacles. Perhaps you have an insatiable passion for learning and exploring new ideas, constantly expanding your knowledge and pushing the boundaries of your understanding, never content with the status quo. What if these seemingly ordinary traits are actually signs of extraordinary potential, indicators that you possess a unique gift waiting to be cultivated? Remember empathy and intuition. Empathy fuels the desire to create something that resonates with others, something that speaks to their deepest needs and desires. It's the driving force behind art that addresses social issues, music that evokes powerful emotions, and inventions that solve real-world problems. Intuition guides the creative process, providing those flashes of insight and inspiration that lead to breakthroughs. It's the inner compass that helps you navigate the uncharted waters of creativity, steering you towards the most meaningful and impactful solutions. Imagine, for example, an empathetic person who is deeply concerned about environmental issues. They might be driven to create art that raises awareness about climate change, guided by their intuition about what images and messages will connect with people on an emotional level and inspire them to take action. The creative impulse can be channeled into a powerful force for positive change, transforming inner visions into tangible contributions to the world, leaving a legacy that extends far beyond your own lifetime. The key is to identify your unique talents and passions, the things that truly ignite your soul and make you feel alive. Set aside dedicated time for creative pursuits, even if it's just for a few minutes each day, creating a sacred space where you can express yourself without judgment or inhibition. Overcome the fear of failure and self-doubt, recognizing that mistakes are simply opportunities for learning and growth, stepping stones on the path to mastery. Reframe failure as iteration, understanding that each setback brings you closer to your ultimate goal, much like a sculptor refining a statue, chipping away at the excess to reveal the masterpiece within. Consider starting a business that solves a problem you're passionate about, creating art that inspires others, developing innovative solutions to social problems, writing a book that shares your unique perspective, or simply finding new ways to express yourself in everyday life, transforming the mundane into the extraordinary. A graphic designer might use their skills to create compelling visuals for a non-profit organization. An engineer might design a more sustainable and efficient mode of transportation. A teacher might develop new and innovative ways to engage their students. Even the smallest act of creativity can have a ripple effect, inspiring others to embrace their own creative potential and make a positive impact on the world. However, be aware of potential pitfalls. Perfectionism can paralyze you, preventing you from even starting a project for fear of not being good enough. Procrastination can derail your efforts, leading you to put off creative pursuits in favor of more urgent tasks. The tendency to compare yourself to others can stifle your creativity, leading you to feel inadequate or discouraged. The key is to focus on the process rather than the outcome, finding joy in the act of creating itself, regardless of the end result. Break down large tasks into smaller, more manageable steps, making the creative process less daunting and more achievable. Celebrate small victories, acknowledging your progress and rewarding yourself for your efforts, reinforcing positive habits and building momentum. Think of an individual who uses empathy to understand the needs of their community, say, a lack of access to healthy food. They use their intuition to identify a creative solution, perhaps a community garden that empowers local residents to grow their own produce. And then they use their creative impulse to bring that solution to life, organizing volunteers, securing funding, and building the garden from the ground up, transforming a vacant lot into a vibrant source of nourishment and community connection. So, a strong creative impulse is not just a personal passion, but a powerful force for innovation and positive change, a sign that you have a unique gift to offer the world. But what happens when this creative fire burns so brightly that it challenges the status quo, pushing you to question established norms, to seek deeper truths beyond the confines of conventional wisdom, and to resist the urge to conform? What happens when your inner vision clashes with the expectations of society, leading you down a path less traveled, a path that demands courage, authenticity, and a willingness to stand apart from the crowd? Next, we'll explore the crucial role of a strong sense of nonconformity, suggesting that it's a natural consequence of creative thinking and a deep-seated desire to break free from limiting beliefs. We'll reveal how to embrace nonconformity as a strength, using it to challenge the world in a positive and meaningful way, linking the chosen one archetype to a rebellious spirit and an unwavering commitment to authenticity. What if your tendency to question everything, to resist blindly following the crowd, isn't just stubbornness, but a deep-seated desire to uncover a more authentic truth, a yearning for something beyond the surface-level explanations offered by society? What if this inherent skepticism is a key sign that you are a chosen one, not destined to be a rebellious troublemaker, but an individual with the courage to challenge limiting beliefs and societal norms, paving the way for a more meaningful existence? The truth is, this nonconformist spirit is a dormant spiritual power, a refusal to accept the status quo, driving you to seek deeper understanding and create a more just and equitable world, a world where authenticity reigns supreme and individual potential is unleashed. However, it's crucial to differentiate between destructive rebellion and constructive nonconformity. Destructive rebellion is acting out without purpose or direction, fueled by anger and resentment, often leading to chaos and negativity. Constructive nonconformity, on the other hand, involves challenging the status quo with a clear vision and a commitment to positive change, guided by a strong moral compass and a desire to uplift others. Think about it. True nonconformity is not about blindly opposing everything, but about thoughtfully questioning, critically analyzing, and courageously advocating for what you believe is right, even when it's unpopular. Psychological research on independent thinking and resistance to social pressure provides valuable insights into the nature of nonconformity. Studies, such as the famous Asch conformity experiments, have shown how individuals often conform to group opinions, even when those opinions are clearly wrong, highlighting the powerful influence of social pressure. However, these studies also reveal that individuals who challenge groupthink are more likely to be creative, innovative, and morally courageous. What they don't want you to know is that your willingness to stand apart from the crowd is not a weakness, but a strength, a sign of intellectual independence and moral conviction, a testament to your ability to think for yourself and resist the urge to conform. This independent thinking allows you to evaluate a situation or idea critically, without being swayed by what everyone else may think or say. It is about forming your own opinions and beliefs based on your experiences, knowledge, and inner guidance. Throughout history, social progress has been driven by nonconformists who dared to challenge unjust systems and inspire positive change. Martin Luther King Jr. challenged racial segregation, Rosa Parks defied discriminatory laws, and Mahatma Gandhi led a non-violent movement for Indian independence. These individuals were not simply rebels. They were visionary leaders who used their non-conformist spirit to create a more just and equitable world, guided by empathy, fueled by intuition, and expressed through creative action. But here's what most people miss. Their actions were rooted in a deep sense of empathy, an understanding of the suffering caused by injustice, and a desire to alleviate that suffering, proving that empathy can serve as a moral compass, guiding our nonconformist actions towards positive outcomes. Healthy nonconformity can be cultivated and channeled into a powerful force for good, transforming a tendency to question everything into a commitment to creating a better world. Start by identifying your own limiting beliefs and challenging them, questioning the assumptions that hold you back from reaching your full potential. Then seek out diverse perspectives and engage in respectful dialogue, even with those who hold opposing viewpoints, employing the concept of steel manning, opposing arguments to ensure a fair understanding, seeking common ground and building bridges rather than walls. Finally, stand up for what you believe in, even when it's unpopular, knowing that your voice matters and that your actions can make a difference, no matter how small they may seem. Consider breaking free from toxic relationships that stifle personal growth, pursuing unconventional career paths that align with your passions, and challenging injustice in your communities by advocating for marginalized groups, creating ripples of positive change that spread far beyond your immediate sphere of influence. Of course, there are potential pitfalls to be aware of. You might alienate others by being overly critical or judgmental, becoming overly attached to being right, or confusing nonconformity with arrogance or a sense of superiority. Practicing humility, actively listening to opposing viewpoints, and focusing on collaboration rather than confrontation are all strategies for overcoming these challenges, transforming potential conflicts into opportunities for growth and understanding. Remember that true nonconformity is not about being better than others, but about being true to yourself, expressing your unique perspective, and contributing to the world in a meaningful way. It is about integrity and not about being a contrarian for the sake of it. Imagine an individual who uses empathy to understand the needs of a marginalized group, intuition to identify a creative solution to a social problem, their creative impulse to bring that solution to life, and nonconformity to challenge the existing power structures that perpetuate the problem. Consider someone who empathizes with the struggles of homeless individuals, intuitively realizes that tiny homes could provide a sustainable solution, creatively designs and builds a tiny home community, and then non-conformally challenges zoning laws that prevent such communities from being built. This is how all four signs can work in synergy to create a powerful force for positive change, proving that you possess the potential to become a true difference maker, a catalyst for transformation, and a beacon of hope for others. So, nonconformity, when grounded in empathy, intuition, and creativity, is a powerful force for positive change, driving us to challenge limiting beliefs and create a more just and equitable world. A world where everyone has the opportunity to thrive and reach their full potential. But what happens when this drive to challenge the external world leads you to turn inward, seeking deeper understanding through solitude and introspection, retreating from the chaos of the world to cultivate inner peace? What happens when the rebel needs to recharge, to reconnect with their inner source of wisdom and strength? The next sign will reveal how these periods of solitude can be used to cultivate inner peace, access deeper wisdom, and prepare for future challenges, proving that solitude can become a superpower, a source of resilience, and a pathway to profound self-discovery, and highlighting how the chosen one archetype is intrinsically linked to a need for inner reflection and self-discovery. What if your natural inclination to withdraw from the world, to seek moments of solitude, isn't a sign of social awkwardness or isolation, but a profound need for inner connection and self-discovery, a vital component for your well-being? What if this tendency towards periods of solitude and introspection is a key sign that you are a chosen one, not destined to be a lonely hermit, but an individual who recognizes the importance of inner reflection for personal growth and spiritual development, an individual with the innate ability to recharge and recalibrate? The truth is, these periods of solitude are a dormant spiritual power, a time for deep self-reflection, accessing inner wisdom, and recharging one's energy for future challenges, a superpower waiting to be unleashed. However, it's crucial to differentiate between loneliness and solitude. Loneliness is a negative state of feeling isolated and disconnected, characterized by a sense of emptiness and unwanted isolation. Solitude, on the other hand, is a positive state of choosing to be alone for self-reflection and rejuvenation, a deliberate act of self-care and introspection. Think about it. Solitude is a choice, a conscious decision to spend time alone for personal growth, while loneliness is often a feeling of being unwanted, a painful awareness of social disconnection. Solitude is about being with yourself, whereas loneliness is about feeling without others. Psychological research on the benefits of solitude provides valuable insights into its positive effects. Studies have shown how solitude can reduce stress, improve creativity, and increase self-awareness, leading to a greater sense of well-being and personal fulfillment. For example, researchers like Esther Buchholz have explored the positive aspects of solitude, highlighting its role in promoting self-discovery, emotional regulation, and cognitive enhancement. But here's what they often miss. Solitude isn't just about being alone. It's about actively engaging with yourself, exploring your thoughts and feelings, and cultivating a deeper understanding of who you are. Throughout history, spiritual leaders and practitioners have sought solitude for meditation, prayer, and connection with the divine. In Buddhism, monks often retreat to secluded monasteries for extended periods of meditation, seeking enlightenment through inner reflection. In Christianity, Jesus spent 40 days in the desert, fasting and praying, connecting with his spiritual source. Even in Taoism, practitioners seek solitude in nature to harmonize with the Tao, the universal life force. What they all understood is that solitude provides the space to quiet the mind, listen to inner guidance, and connect with something larger than oneself. Consider the connection between solitude and non-conformity. Solitude provides the space to question societal norms and develop one's own authentic values, free from external pressures. Someone who is non-conforming needs time alone to cultivate those unique perspectives, to reflect on their beliefs, and to develop the courage to stand apart from the crowd. What they don't want you to know is that the ability to be alone with your thoughts, to resist the constant bombardment of external stimuli, is a powerful act of self-preservation, a way to protect your inner voice and maintain your individuality in a world that often demands conformity. Healthy solitude can be cultivated as a practice, transforming a tendency to withdraw into a powerful tool for self-discovery and personal growth. Start by scheduling regular time for solitude, even if it's just 15 minutes a day, creating a dedicated space for solitude, a quiet corner in your home, a nature spot, or any place where you feel comfortable and undisturbed. Then engage in activities that promote self-reflection, such as meditation, journaling, or mindful walking. What truly matters is using that time for introspection and connection. Imagine using solitude to process difficult emotions. When you're feeling overwhelmed by anger, sadness, or anxiety, take some time alone to explore those feelings, to understand their root causes, and to develop healthy coping mechanisms. Or picture yourself using solitude to make important decisions. When you're faced with a challenging choice, retreat to a quiet space, weigh the pros and cons, and listen to your intuition for guidance. Finally, consider using solitude to connect with your inner self, to explore your passions, values, and purpose in life, allowing you to cultivate a deeper sense of self-awareness and authenticity. The applications are limitless. Of course, there are potential pitfalls to be aware of. You might use solitude as a way to avoid problems or escape from responsibility, becoming overly isolated and disconnected from others, or confusing solitude with loneliness. Setting clear intentions for solitude, maintaining healthy relationships with others, and seeking help when needed are all strategies for overcoming these challenges, ensuring that solitude remains a source of strength and not a path to isolation. It's crucial to remember that balance is key. Here's where it gets interesting. Sometimes, the greatest insights come not from the activity you engage in during solitude, but from the stillness itself. In that quiet space, without the noise of the world or the chatter of your mind, a deeper knowing emerges, a connection to something beyond the individual self, a realization that you are part of a vast, interconnected web of life. This is the true power of solitude, the ability to transcend the limitations of the ego and connect with the source of all creation. So, periods of solitude and introspection are not signs of weakness or isolation, but powerful opportunities for self-discovery, spiritual growth, and personal rejuvenation. A chance to recharge your batteries, reconnect with your inner self, and gain clarity and perspective. But what happens when these periods of solitude lead you to a profound sense of interconnectedness, a realization that you are part of something much larger than yourself, a shift from individual awareness to collective consciousness? The next sign will reveal how this deep sense of interconnectedness can inspire compassion, empathy, and a desire to contribute to the well-being of others, linking the chosen one archetype to a sense of global citizenship and a commitment to creating a more harmonious world, and highlighting the profound impact we can have when we recognize our place within the larger tapestry of existence. What if the illusion of separation is just that an illusion and we are all inextricably linked, like threads in a vast, cosmic tapestry, each affecting the other in ways we can barely comprehend? What if this seemingly simple truth holds the key to unlocking a profound sense of purpose and belonging? The reality is that a deep sense of interconnectedness is a key sign of being a chosen one, not as some mystical dogma, but as a profound understanding of the delicate interdependence of all things, a web of life that sustains us all, whether we acknowledge it or not. This awareness of interconnectedness is a dormant spiritual power, a perspective shift that offers a completely new understanding of our place in the universe and our responsibility to one another and the planet. But here's the thing: interconnectedness extends far beyond our human relationships. It encompasses every living being, from the smallest microbe to the largest whale, and the environment that sustains them all. Think about it. Every breath you take is made possible by the plants that convert carbon dioxide into oxygen. Every drop of water you drink has traveled through countless ecosystems, and every piece of food you consume is the result of a complex web of interactions between soil, sunlight, and living organisms. What they don't want you to know is that recognizing this interconnectedness shatters the illusion of individual isolation, revealing the profound truth that we are all part of something much larger than ourselves. The scientific community is beginning to catch up with what spiritual traditions have known for centuries. Consider quantum entanglement, the bizarre phenomenon where two particles become linked in such a way that they instantaneously affect each other, regardless of the distance separating them. While debated, could this offer a glimpse into a deeper interconnectedness at the subatomic level, suggesting that everything in the universe is fundamentally connected? Think of the Gaia hypothesis, which posits that the Earth is a self-regulating system where all living organisms and their inorganic surroundings are tightly coupled, acting as a single, integrated entity. Although still controversial, the Gaia hypothesis offers a scientific perspective that aligns with spiritual teachings, highlighting the delicate balance and interconnectedness of our planet. Eastern philosophical traditions have long emphasized the concept of non-duality, the understanding that the separation between self and other is an illusion. In Buddhism, the concept of dependent origination teaches that everything arises in dependence upon other things. Nothing exists in isolation. Everything is interconnected and interdependent. Think about it. Every action, every thought, every feeling has a ripple effect, influencing the world around us in ways we may never fully realize. The key is understanding that these ancient teachings offer a framework for understanding interconnectedness as not just a philosophical concept, but a fundamental truth about the nature of reality. Here's where it gets interesting. A sense of interconnectedness manifests in countless ways in everyday life. Consider a deep concern for the environment, a desire to protect our planet's resources and preserve its biodiversity for future generations. Or a feeling of compassion for all living beings, a recognition that every creature, great and small, deserves to live and thrive. What they don't want you to realize is that these seemingly disparate concerns are all expressions of a deeper understanding that our actions have consequences for the entire world. Contrast this with a purely individualistic perspective, where the focus is solely on personal gain, without regard for the impact on others or the environment, and you'll see the stark difference between living in harmony with the web of life and living in opposition to it. But here's the truth. The signs we've discussed so far, empathy, intuition, creativity, nonconformity, and solitude, all contribute to this understanding of interconnectedness. Empathy fuels the desire to connect with others, to understand their perspectives, and to alleviate their suffering. Intuition allows us to sense subtle connections, to perceive the underlying unity that binds all things together. Creativity enables us to express our interconnectedness, to share our experiences and insights in ways that inspire and uplift others. Nonconformity challenges the illusion of separation, encouraging us to question societal norms and to forge our own path, one that aligns with our values and our understanding of interconnectedness. And solitude provides the space to reflect on our place in the web of life, to cultivate a deeper sense of self-awareness, and to connect with something larger than ourselves. A sense of interconnectedness can be cultivated and channeled into a powerful force for positive change, transforming a theoretical understanding into a commitment to creating a more sustainable and equitable world. Consider practicing compassion meditation, a technique that involves cultivating feelings of kindness and compassion for oneself and others, extending these feelings to all living beings. Or engaging in acts of service to others, volunteering your time to organizations that address social and environmental issues, making a tangible difference in the lives of those in need. Reducing your environmental footprint, making conscious choices to consume less, waste less, and support sustainable practices is another powerful way to live in alignment with interconnectedness. Supporting ethical businesses, companies that prioritize fair labor practices, environmental sustainability, and social responsibility sends a message that you value interconnectedness and are willing to support those who do as well. And advocating for social justice, speaking out against inequality, discrimination, and oppression, working to create a world where everyone has the opportunity to thrive, demonstrates a commitment to the well-being of all. Imagine making conscious consumer choices that support fair trade and sustainable practices. Instead of buying cheap, mass-produced goods, you choose to support artisans and farmers who are paid fair wages and use environmentally friendly methods. Or picture yourself volunteering your time to organizations that address social and environmental issues, spending a few hours each week helping out at a local food bank, cleaning up a park, or tutoring children from disadvantaged communities. What about engaging in respectful dialogue with people who hold different beliefs, listening to their perspectives, seeking common ground, and working to bridge divides, even when it's challenging? These are concrete ways to live out interconnectedness in your daily life. Of course, there are potential pitfalls to be aware of. You might become overwhelmed by the world's problems, feeling powerless to make a difference, or experiencing compassion fatigue, a state of emotional and physical exhaustion caused by prolonged exposure to suffering. The key is to focus on small, manageable actions, celebrating your successes, and remembering that every little bit helps. Practicing self-care, setting healthy boundaries, and prioritizing your own well-being is essential for preventing burnout and maintaining your capacity to care for others. And connecting with others who share your values, joining a community of like-minded individuals who are working towards a more just and sustainable world, provides support, inspiration, and a sense of shared purpose. Remember that you are not alone in this journey. So, a deep sense of interconnectedness is not just a philosophical concept or a feel-good sentiment. It's a powerful catalyst for positive change, inspiring us to live in harmony with one another and the planet, to recognize our shared humanity, and to work towards a more just, sustainable, and compassionate world. But what happens when this awareness of interconnectedness leads you to question your own identity, to wonder about the nature of reality itself, to challenge the very foundations of what you believe to be true? The next sign will reveal how a tendency to question the nature of reality is a natural consequence of recognizing the interconnectedness of all things, a desire to understand the deeper meaning of existence, and a quest for ultimate truth, an initially destabilizing but ultimately empowering journey into the unknown. What if the reality you experience every day is just one carefully constructed illusion, one layer of a much larger, more complex existence? What if that nagging feeling that there's more to it all, that persistent curiosity, is a sign you're meant to explore beyond the surface, to peel back the layers of deception? The reality is that this tendency to question the nature of reality is a key sign of being a chosen one, not as a mark of detachment or skepticism, but as a reflection of a deep-seated, burning desire to understand the fundamental truths of existence, the very fabric of what is. That constant questioning is a dormant spiritual power, a driving force relentlessly pushing you to seek deeper meaning and potentially uncover hidden dimensions of reality, and therefore yourself. But here's the thing. Questioning reality has been a central theme in philosophy, spirituality, and even science for centuries, with each offering various frameworks for understanding the elusive nature of existence. Consider Plato's allegory of the cave, where prisoners are chained and forced to watch shadows on a wall, mistaking them for reality. What if our everyday experiences are like those shadows, mere reflections of a deeper, more authentic reality that lies beyond our immediate perception? Then there's the simulation theory, popularized by thinkers like Nick Bostrom and even Elon Musk, which posits that our reality could be a digitally constructed simulation, indistinguishable from a real world. Think about it. If a sufficiently advanced civilization could create such a simulation, how would we even know we're living in one? The arguments are compelling and, frankly, a little unnerving. Then there's the observer effect in quantum physics, a mind-bending phenomenon suggesting that the act of observation fundamentally influences the behavior of quantum particles. Could this imply that our consciousness plays a role in shaping the reality we experience, blurring the line between objective and subjective? Think of the double-slit experiment, where particles seem to behave differently depending on whether they are being observed. What if the universe is not a fixed, objective entity, but rather a dynamic and ever-changing reflection of our collective consciousness? It's a radical idea, but one that has profound implications for our understanding of reality. But this notion isn't relegated to the quantum realm. Consider the concept of Maya in Hinduism, where the world we perceive is considered an illusion, a veil that obscures the true nature of reality, Brahman, the ultimate reality. This relates back to the idea of waking up that we've discussed in prior videos, a process of piercing through the illusion and attaining gnosis, direct knowledge of spiritual truth. But here's what most people miss. This questioning isn't isolated. It's intricately connected to the signs we've already discussed. Empathy drives the desire to understand others' realities, to walk in their shoes and see the world from their perspective. Intuition provides insights beyond the limitations of the five senses, offering glimpses into hidden patterns and connections. Creativity allows us to imagine alternate realities, to envision possibilities beyond the confines of the status quo. Non-conformity challenges accepted realities, questioning societal norms and daring to think outside the box. Solitude offers the space for deep reflection on the nature of reality, for contemplating our place in the universe and our relationship to the divine. And interconnectedness blurs the boundaries of individual realities, revealing the profound truth that we are all part of something larger than ourselves. Imagine an empathetic individual who witnesses the suffering of others. That person might then question the reality of a system that allows such suffering to exist. Intuitively, they might realize that current social structures aren't working for everyone, and creatively, they might seek new solutions, new ways of organizing society that promote greater compassion and justice. It's a beautiful tapestry of interconnected signs. Of course, this line of thinking can lead to some uncomfortable places. We can't ignore the potential for solipsism, the philosophical idea that only one's own mind is sure to exist. What if everything and everyone around you is simply a figment of your imagination? It's a chilling thought, and one that can lead to a sense of isolation and despair. But the key is to recognize that solipsism, while a valid philosophical concept, doesn't necessarily negate the importance of empathy, compassion, and interconnectedness. Even if reality is ultimately subjective, our interactions with others still have meaning and impact. But here's the thing. Exploring the nature of reality isn't about finding definitive answers, because maybe there aren't any in the way we expect, but about expanding your awareness and challenging your assumptions about the world and your place in it. Try practicing mindfulness meditation, focusing on observing your thoughts and perceptions without judgment, simply noticing the way your mind constructs its own version of reality. Engage in philosophical inquiry, reading and discussing different viewpoints on the nature of existence, from ancient philosophers like Plato and Aristotle to contemporary thinkers like Chalmers and Dennett. Explore different spiritual and belief systems, broadening your understanding of the diverse ways humans have attempted to make sense of the universe. Imagine examining your own limiting beliefs, identifying the assumptions and biases that shape your perception of reality. Perhaps you believe that you're not good enough, not smart enough, or not worthy of love. Challenge these beliefs, questioning their validity and exploring alternative perspectives. Or try challenging societal narratives, questioning the stories that are told to us about the world, from political ideologies to economic systems. Are these narratives based on truth and justice, or are they designed to maintain the status quo and serve the interests of a select few? Being open to new experiences, stepping outside of your comfort zone and trying new things can also shatter your preconceptions and expand your understanding of reality. Traveling to different countries, meeting people from different cultures, and engaging in activities that challenge your assumptions can all be transformative experiences. And seek out diverse perspectives, listening to the voices of those who see the world differently than you do, engaging in respectful dialogue, and seeking to understand their points of view, even if you don't agree with them. This can broaden your understanding of reality and challenge your own biases. Think of it like this. The bent straw in a glass of water appears broken, but that's simply a trick of perception. By changing your perspective, by understanding the way light refracts, you can see the straw for what it truly is, whole and unbroken. Your personal outlook truly shapes the world around you. Of course, there are potential pitfalls to be aware of. You might get lost in abstract thought and become detached from everyday life, losing touch with the practical realities of existence. You might develop nihilistic views, losing a sense of purpose and meaning in life. Or you might become overly critical or judgmental of others' beliefs, alienating yourself from those around you. But the key is to ground yourself in practical activities, focusing on the positive aspects of existence and practicing empathy and compassion. Spend time in nature, connecting with the physical world and appreciating the beauty and wonder of the natural world. Engage in creative pursuits, expressing your unique perspective and sharing your gifts with others. And cultivate meaningful relationships, connecting with people who support and inspire you. These can help you to stay grounded and maintain a sense of purpose and connection. So, questioning the nature of reality is not about finding definitive answers, but about expanding awareness, challenging assumptions, and seeking deeper meaning in the world around us. But what happens when you begin to perceive the world with this newfound awareness, when your senses become heightened and you see beyond the ordinary, when you start to notice things that others miss? This leads us to the next sign: heightened awareness and sharpened senses. We'll see how this heightened awareness can lead to a greater understanding of the interconnectedness of all things and unlock dormant spiritual abilities. We'll even touch on sensory synesthesia and how some people naturally experience a mixing of senses, tasting colors or seeing sounds. It's a fascinating world that awaits. What if the world around you is bursting with vibrant details, subtle energies, and hidden signals that most people simply miss, and you perhaps have the innate ability to perceive them all? What if the rustling of leaves isn't just background noise, but a symphony of whispers? What if the subtle shifts in someone's facial expression reveal a hidden world of emotions? The truth is, heightened awareness and sharpened senses are key signs of being a chosen one, not as a result of superior genetics or some innate advantage, but as an indication of an awakened perceptive ability, an unfiltered lens through which to experience reality. This sharpened perception is a dormant spiritual power, granting access to deeper insights, enhanced creativity, and a profound connection to the world, allowing you to navigate life with a level of understanding that most people can only dream of. But here's the thing. This heightened awareness encompasses far more than just improved eyesight or hearing. It involves a holistic sharpening of all the senses, including proprioception, your body's awareness of its position in space, and interoception, your ability to perceive internal bodily sensations like your heartbeat or the feeling of hunger. Think about it. Can you feel the subtle shift in your weight as you stand? Can you sense the energy flowing through your body? For most, these sensations are muted, relegated to the background noise of everyday life. But for some, these signals are crystal clear, providing a constant stream of information about the world and their place within it. Interestingly, research on sensory processing sensitivity, or SPS, sheds light on this phenomenon. Individuals with SPS are more attuned to subtle stimuli, from bright lights and loud noises to the emotions of others. They process information more deeply, often experiencing the world with a richness and intensity that can be both a blessing and a curse. But here's what most people miss. SPS isn't a disorder or a deficiency. It's a trait, a difference in sensory processing that likely conferred evolutionary advantages. Imagine a hunter who could detect the faintest rustle in the underbrush, or a caregiver who could sense the subtle cues of a distressed infant. These individuals would have been more likely to survive and thrive, passing on their heightened sensitivity to future generations. Perhaps this is why so many of us feel like we are empaths. Consider, too, the phenomenon of synesthesia, where senses are blended, where people might see sounds, taste colors, or associate numbers with specific personalities. While synesthesia is relatively rare, affecting an estimated 2–4% of the population, it demonstrates the brain's remarkable capacity for unusual sensory experiences. But think about it, isn't this something that can be developed to a degree? While you might not start tasting colors tomorrow, with practice, you can sharpen your senses, learning to perceive subtle nuances that you never noticed before. The key is to actively engage your senses, paying attention to the sights, sounds, smells, tastes, and textures that surround you. Of course, there are potential downsides to heightened awareness. Sensory overload, feeling overwhelmed by the intensity of experience, and difficulty filtering out distractions are common challenges. Imagine being in a crowded room, bombarded by noise, lights, and smells, unable to focus on any one thing. It can be incredibly draining and disorienting. Here's the truth. Mainstream society often doesn't value or understand heightened sensitivity, leading some individuals to feel like they are too sensitive or overreacting. But the key is to recognize that heightened awareness is not a weakness, but a strength that can be cultivated and managed. But how does this heightened awareness connect to the signs we've already discussed? Empathy increases sensitivity to others' emotions, allowing you to feel their joys and sorrows as if they were your own. Intuition allows you to read between the lines, perceiving hidden patterns and connections that others miss. Creativity inspires you to express your unique perceptions, transforming sensory experiences into art, music, and other forms of expression. Nonconformity challenges conventional sensory experiences, encouraging you to seek out new and different ways of perceiving the world. Solitude provides space to cultivate inner awareness, allowing you to connect with your senses without the distractions of the external world. And interconnectedness fosters a sense of connection with all sensory input, blurring the boundaries between yourself and your environment. Imagine an empathetic individual walking through a forest. They might not only see the trees, but also feel the interconnectedness of all living things, sensing the subtle energies that flow through the ecosystem. Intuitively, they might know which plants are medicinal, and creatively, they might express their experience through a poem or a painting, challenging others to see the forest in a new light. But here's where it gets interesting. Heightened awareness can be cultivated and managed, transforming a potential source of overwhelm into a superpower for insight and connection. The key is to learn to tune your senses, to filter out the noise and focus on the signals that truly matter. Start by practicing mindfulness of the senses, paying attention to the sounds, sights, smells, tastes, and textures in your environment without judgment. Try a simple exercise. Close your eyes and focus on the sounds around you, identifying each sound and noticing its unique characteristics. Or take a mindful walk, paying attention to the way your body moves and the sensations of the ground beneath your feet. Engage in sensory exploration exercises like blind taste tests, where you try to identify different foods with your eyes closed, or mindful listening to music, focusing on the individual instruments and melodies. Creating a sensory-friendly environment can also minimize distractions and promote relaxation. Consider dimming the lights, reducing noise levels, and surrounding yourself with calming colors and textures. Consider how you could use heightened awareness in different contexts. In communication, notice subtle cues like body language, tone of voice, and micro-expressions, giving you deeper insights into what someone is really saying. In creativity, draw inspiration from sensory details, using your heightened senses to create unique and evocative art, music, or writing. In decision-making, pay attention to your gut feelings, recognizing that your intuition is often based on subtle sensory cues that you may not consciously recognize. Imagine you're at a business meeting and someone is pitching a new idea. You might notice subtle shifts in their body language or tone of voice that suggest they're not being entirely truthful, allowing you to make a more informed decision. Or perhaps you're a musician who draws inspiration from the sounds of nature, using your heightened hearing to create intricate and evocative soundscapes. Of course, there are potential pitfalls to be aware of. You might become overly critical or judgmental of others' sensory experiences, developing obsessive-compulsive tendencies related to sensory details, or neglecting self-care in the pursuit of heightened awareness. But the key is to practice self-compassion, setting healthy boundaries, and prioritizing relaxation and rest. Remember, it's okay to take breaks, to retreat from the world when you need to recharge. And always listen to your own body. And remember to ground yourself when experiencing sensory overload, using techniques like deep breathing, visualization, and connecting with nature. Deep breathing can help to calm your nervous system, while visualization can provide a sense of inner peace. Connecting with nature can be incredibly grounding, reminding you of your connection to the earth. The key is to understand your individual sensory thresholds, recognizing what triggers overwhelm and taking steps to manage it. So, heightened awareness and sharpened senses can be powerful tools for insight, creativity, and connection, but they require mindful cultivation and management. But what happens when this heightened awareness extends beyond the external world, turning inward to reveal a deep understanding of your own physical and energetic body? This leads us to the next sign, a strong connection to your physical body. What we'll uncover next is how this is a natural progression from heightened awareness, leading to a greater understanding of your own needs and limitations, as well as an ability to heal and optimize your well-being. We'll even see how this body awareness can unlock dormant healing abilities, improve physical performance, and foster a deeper sense of self-acceptance and self-love, linking the chosen one archetype to a mastery of their own physical vessel. So the question becomes, what is your body telling you? What if your physical body isn't just a vessel carrying your mind, but a forgotten temple, a source of profound wisdom, intuition, and untapped potential? What if all the answers you've been seeking outside of yourself have been whispering within you all along? The truth is, a strong connection to your physical body is a key sign that you are one of the chosen ones, not in the sense of being an athlete or a fitness model, but as someone deeply attuned to the sensations, needs, and inherent intelligence of their own physical form. This embodied awareness is a dormant spiritual power, granting you access to a deeper understanding of yourself, the ability to heal from past traumas, and the capacity to optimize your overall well-being. But here's the thing. Connecting with your body is about far more than physical fitness and outward appearance. It involves cultivating a deep sense of awareness of your internal sensations, your movements, and your energetic state. This goes beyond knowing how much you weigh or how fast you can run. It's about understanding the subtle language your body uses to communicate with you every single moment of every day. Think about it. When was the last time you truly listened to your body? Most of us are so caught up in our thoughts, our to-do lists, and our external obligations that we completely ignore the wisdom that resides within us. Interestingly, scientific research on interoception sheds light on this often overlooked sense. Interoception is the ability to sense internal bodily signals, such as your heartbeat, your breathing, your digestion, and even subtle changes in temperature or muscle tension. Studies show that individuals with higher interoceptive awareness tend to have greater emotional regulation, self-awareness, and overall mental health. The shocking truth is, improved interoception can even help people better manage anxiety and depression, providing a powerful tool for mental and emotional well-being. This is because the body and mind are not separate entities, but interconnected systems that constantly influence each other. Consider, too, the field of somatic experiencing, a therapeutic approach developed by Peter Levine that focuses on releasing trauma stored in the body. Levine discovered that trauma can become stuck in the nervous system, leading to chronic pain, anxiety, depression, and other physical and emotional symptoms. The key is to access these stored traumas through body awareness, allowing the body to naturally release the pent-up energy and heal itself. But here's what most people miss. Somatic experiencing isn't just for those who have experienced major traumas. It can also be a valuable tool for anyone who wants to deepen their connection to their body and release everyday stress and tension. And what about body listening? The body constantly communicates with us through sensations, tension, and even pain, offering valuable insights into our needs and limitations. Perhaps your stomach clenches when you're feeling anxious, or your shoulders tense up when you're stressed. Or maybe you experience chronic headaches or back pain that seem to have no clear cause. These are all signs that your body is trying to tell you something. By learning to listen to these signals, you can gain a deeper understanding of your emotional state, your physical needs, and your overall well-being. But how do you learn to listen to your body when you've spent years ignoring it? Here's where it gets interesting. This body awareness is directly connected to the previous sign of heightened awareness. Sharpening your senses naturally leads to a greater awareness of your internal physical landscape. Someone with heightened awareness may be more attuned to subtle muscle tension, changes in heart rate, or even the slightest shift in their breathing patterns, providing early warning signs of stress, fatigue, or even illness. Imagine an artist who is highly attuned to the visual world. They might also be more sensitive to the subtle sensations in their hands as they paint, allowing them to create more expressive and nuanced artwork. Or consider a musician who is highly attuned to sound. They might also be more aware of the vibrations in their body as they play their instrument, enhancing their performance and connection to the music. Consider, too, polyvagal theory, which explains how the vagus nerve, the longest nerve in your body, connects your brain to your heart, lungs, and digestive system. By becoming more aware of your vagal tone, the activity of your vagus nerve, you can learn to regulate your nervous system and manage stress more effectively. If you've ever felt your heart racing when you're nervous or your stomach churning when you're anxious, that's your vagus nerve at work. The key is to practice techniques like deep breathing, meditation, and yoga, which can help to stimulate the vagus nerve and promote relaxation. Of course, a strong connection to the physical body can be cultivated through specific practices, transforming a state of disconnect into a source of strength, resilience, and self-love. The key is to find practices that resonate with you and make them a regular part of your routine. Think about it. What activities make you feel more connected to your body? Maybe it's dancing, hiking, swimming, or even just taking a walk in nature. Here's where you can start. Practice mindful movement exercises like yoga or Tai Chi, focusing on the sensations in your body as you move. Or try somatic experiencing techniques, such as pendulation, where you alternate between focusing on a neutral or pleasant sensation and a more challenging one. Engage in intuitive eating, paying attention to your hunger and fullness cues, and nourishing your body with foods that make you feel good. And spend time in nature, reconnecting with your physical senses by noticing the sights, sounds, smells, and textures that surround you. Imagine yourself walking barefoot on the grass, feeling the earth beneath your feet, or swimming in the ocean, feeling the water on your skin. But how can you use this body awareness in different contexts? When managing stress, notice physical tension in your body and practice relaxation techniques like deep breathing or progressive muscle relaxation. If you are looking to improve physical performance, listen to your body's signals and avoid overtraining. And to make better decisions, tune into your gut feelings, recognizing that your intuition is often based on subtle bodily cues. Imagine you're feeling overwhelmed at work. You might notice tension in your shoulders and neck, prompting you to take a break and practice some deep breathing exercises. Or perhaps you're an athlete who is pushing yourself too hard. You might notice pain in your muscles or joints, signaling that you need to rest and recover. Of course, there are potential pitfalls to be aware of. Body image issues, negative self-talk, and comparing yourself to others can all sabotage your efforts to connect with your body. But the key is to practice self-compassion, focusing on functionality rather than appearance, and challenging societal beauty standards. The truth is, body neutrality and self-acceptance are essential for cultivating a healthy relationship with your body. You might be thinking, but how can I love my body when it doesn't look the way I want it to? Start by focusing on what your body can do rather than what it looks like. Appreciate its strength, its resilience, and its ability to carry you through life. To help your progress, there are some very practical things you can do, such as proprioceptive exercises like balancing on one foot or closing your eyes and touching your finger to your nose. These exercises help to improve your body awareness and coordination, strengthening the connection between your mind and your body. The key is to be patient, persistent, and kind to yourself. Your body is a temple. Treat it with respect and reverence. So, connecting with your physical body is far more than just about physical health. It's about unlocking a deeper level of self-understanding, healing, and overall well-being, and is a sign of being one of the chosen ones. But what happens when this awareness of your physical body expands to encompass your energetic body, the subtle energy fields that surround and permeate your physical form? How much more could you feel? This leads us to the next sign, a strong awareness of your energy body. What we'll uncover next is how this is a natural progression from body awareness, leading to a greater understanding of your vital force and its potential for healing and manifestation. We'll even see how this energetic awareness can unlock dormant healing abilities, enhance intuition, and connect you to a deeper sense of purpose, linking the chosen one archetype to a mastery of their own energetic field and the ability to influence their reality on a subtle level. So, the question becomes, Are you ready to feel the energy within you? Tags at the end. Here's a breakdown of how I'll approach each section, drawing on the formula and examples. Section 1. Core Concept Introduction. I'll start with a hook, posing the question of whether there's an invisible energetic field influencing us. I'll introduce the idea that a strong awareness of one's energy body is a key sign of being a chosen one. I'll end with a suggestion that this awareness is a dormant spiritual power. I will use short sentences here and make it declarative. Section 2. Elaboration and evidence layering. I'll explain that the concept of an energy body has been recognized in ancient traditions. I'll reference modern subtle energy research. I'll touch briefly on the concept of biofields. I'll connect this energetic awareness to the previous signs. I will use transition phrases to move from the introduction to elaboration, provide historical context, and define key terms. I'll use analogies and metaphors to make abstract concepts more concrete. I will also present evidence chronologically. Section 3. Application and implication. I'll explain that awareness and intentional work with the energy body can lead to improvements in well-being. I'll introduce actionable steps for viewers to cultivate energy awareness. I'll offer practical examples of how to use energy awareness in different contexts. I'll address potential pitfalls. Here I will use action-oriented verbs and conditional statements. I'll also address potential objections. Section 4. Transition and foreshadowing. I'll summarize the key takeaway. I'll pose the question of what happens when this awareness leads you to recognize a unique power. I'll foreshadow the next sign, a sense of purpose. I'll hint that the next sign will reveal how this sense of purpose can drive you to make a meaningful impact. Here, I will use transition words and phrases that imply continuation. I'll also foreshadow the next topic. I will use the following techniques from the examples. Sentence structure. I'll vary sentence length for pacing. I'll emulate the use of short, declarative sentences for emphasis, especially in the introduction. Pacing. I'll use a mix of complex explanations, relatable examples, actionable advice, and rhetorical questions. Question frequency. I'll ask questions to keep the audience engaged. Tension building. I'll build tension by hinting at deeper implications and unresolved questions. Technical language density. I'll balance technical language with accessible explanations and analogies. Emotional trigger points. I'll use empowering language and create a sense of wonder. Pattern interrupts. I'll include a major revelation or pattern interrupt to maintain engagement. Transition patterns. I'll use transition phrases to connect ideas smoothly. Now, I'll write the content, keeping all of this in mind and focusing on creating a seamless narrative flow. I need to make sure that I stay under the 3,000-word limit. Thinking content part. 11. What if there's an invisible energetic field surrounding and permeating your physical body? A field you can't see, but profoundly influences your health, your emotions, and even your ability to manifest your desires. What if tapping into this unseen realm held the key to unlocking dormant powers you never knew you possessed? The truth is, a strong awareness of your energy body is a key sign that you are one of the chosen ones, not as some new age mystic detached from reality, but as someone deeply attuned to the subtle energies that govern your well-being and your connection to the universe. This energetic awareness is a dormant spiritual power, granting you access to enhanced intuition, natural healing abilities, and the potential to consciously shape your reality, as you'll soon discover. But here's the thing. This isn't some abstract, esoteric concept with no basis in reality. The concept of an energy body has been recognized in various ancient traditions for centuries. In traditional Chinese medicine, it's called Qi, the vital life force that flows through specific pathways called meridians. Think of acupuncture, where needles are inserted into these meridians to balance the flow of Qi and promote healing. In Ayurveda, the ancient Indian system of medicine, it's called prana, the universal life force that animates all living things. Yoga speaks of the subtle body, a network of energy channels called nadis, and energy centers called chakras, each associated with different aspects of your being. Each system has different specific mappings of the body's energy anatomy, different ways of describing the intricate energetic network within you. Interestingly, modern science is beginning to explore the subtle energies that ancient traditions have long recognized. While much of this research is still preliminary and faces challenges in terms of methodology and replication, studies on Qigong, Reiki, and other energy healing modalities have shown promising effects on the body. For example, some studies have suggested that these practices can reduce pain, lower blood pressure, and improve immune function. Of course, it's essential to approach this research with a critical eye, acknowledging the complexities of studying subtle energies and the need for further investigation. But the fact that science is even beginning to explore these concepts suggests that there may be more to the energy body than meets the eye. What about the concept of biofields? Beverly Rubik, a biophysicist, has conducted research on biofields, proposing that they play a role in communication and regulation within the body. Think of it as an energetic blueprint that guides the development and function of your physical form. Rubik's work, while still considered controversial by some, highlights the potential for scientific investigation into the subtle energetic realms that have long been recognized by ancient traditions. The key is to approach this topic with both wonder and a healthy dose of skepticism, recognizing the limitations of our current understanding while remaining open to the possibilities that lie beyond. Here's where it all comes together. This energetic awareness is directly connected to the previous signs of heightened awareness, body awareness, and intuition. Sharpening your senses naturally leads to a greater awareness of your energy field. Remember the highly attuned artist. They might not only be sensitive to visual details and physical sensations, but also to subtle shifts in the energy around them, influencing their creative process. Think about it. An individual with heightened awareness might feel a tingling sensation in their hands when practicing energy healing, intuitively knowing where to direct their energy to promote healing. Or someone with strong body awareness might feel energetic blockages in their body as physical tension or discomfort, providing valuable insights into their emotional state. Consider, too, Kirlian photography, a controversial technique that claims to capture a visual depiction of the energy field around living objects. While the scientific validity of Kirlian photography is debated, it offers a compelling visual representation of the idea that there's more to us than just our physical form. Some interpret the glowing aura captured in Kirlian photographs as evidence of the energy body, while others attribute it to moisture and electrical conductivity. Whatever the explanation, Kirlian photography serves as a potent reminder of the unseen forces that may be at play in our lives. Here's where it gets interesting. Awareness and intentional work with your energy body can lead to significant improvements in your physical, emotional, and spiritual well-being, creating a solid foundation for manifestation. By consciously working with your energy, you can unlock your dormant healing abilities, enhance your intuition, and create a more fulfilling life, and perhaps even unlock a few secrets about the universe. But how do you actually cultivate this awareness and tap into the potential of your energy body? Start by practicing energy healing techniques like Reiki or Qigong, focusing on channeling energy through your hands to promote healing in yourself and others. Even beginner techniques like simply placing your hands on your body and visualizing energy flowing through you can be incredibly powerful. Engage in practices like breathwork or meditation to balance your energy flow, focusing on specific breathing patterns or visualizations to clear blockages and promote harmony. And use visualization to direct your energy towards specific goals, imagining yourself achieving your desired outcomes with vivid detail and emotion. The key is consistency, making these practices a regular part of your routine, and the more dedicated you are, the more that energetic awareness will blossom. Imagine you're experiencing pain. You can use energy healing techniques to direct energy to the affected area, visualizing the pain dissolving and being replaced with soothing energy. Or perhaps you're feeling stressed. You can use breathwork or meditation to calm your nervous system and balance your energy flow, creating a sense of inner peace. The truth is, you can also use visualization to attract positive outcomes, imagining yourself achieving your goals and feeling the emotions associated with your success, aligning your energy with your desired reality. Think about it. What areas of your life could benefit from a boost of energetic awareness? Of course, there are potential pitfalls to be aware of. Becoming overly focused on energy manipulation and neglecting practical action, developing a sense of spiritual superiority, and confusing energetic sensations with physical symptoms can all derail your progress. The key is to ground yourself in reality, practicing humility, and consulting with healthcare professionals when needed. Always remember that energetic awareness is a tool to enhance your life, not a substitute for responsible action and seeking professional help when necessary. You might be thinking, but what if I'm just imagining these energetic sensations? That's a valid concern. The key is to focus on the results, noticing how your energy practices affect your overall well-being and your ability to achieve your goals. To avoid these dangers, try to keep a journal to track your experiences and use grounding techniques like spending time in nature or focusing on your physical senses. And remember to maintain a healthy balance between your energetic practices and your everyday life, integrating your spiritual awareness into your work, your relationships, and your overall well-being. You might find yourself interacting with others in a much more empathetic way as a result. So, a strong awareness of your energy body is not just about esoteric practices. It's about understanding your vital force and harnessing its potential for healing, manifestation, and overall well-being. But what happens when this awareness of your energetic body leads you to recognize a unique power, a distinct purpose that sets you apart from others? What if you have a unique energetic signature, something that makes you particularly well suited for a specific calling? This leads us to the next sign, a sense of purpose, a profound feeling that you're here to make a meaningful impact on the world. We'll uncover how this sense of purpose can drive you to make a lasting legacy, linking the chosen one archetype to a calling, a mission, and a deep desire to contribute something unique to humanity. We'll even see how this purpose can act as a guiding star, illuminating your path and providing you with the strength and resilience to overcome any obstacle. What's more, we will explore how this sense of purpose can make you stand out. Are you ready to discover yours? What if that persistent feeling that you're meant for something more, that you have a unique contribution to make, isn't just wishful thinking or some narcissistic delusion, but a signpost, a deeply encoded directive, pointing you towards your true calling? What if ignoring this signal is the equivalent of turning off your GPS while driving through a dangerous, unfamiliar city? The truth is, a strong sense of purpose is a key sign of being a chosen one, not as a predetermined destiny handed down from on high, but as a deeply felt inner drive, a wellspring of motivation to use your gifts and talents to make a positive impact on the world. And what most people misunderstand is that this sense of purpose is rooted in the cultivation of the very traits we've already discussed: awareness, attunement, and energy. But here's the thing. This sense of purpose is more than just a vague aspiration or a fleeting feeling of wanting to do good. A true sense of purpose encompasses three key elements: a clear understanding of your values and passions, a compelling vision for the future you want to create, and an unwavering commitment to taking consistent action towards that vision. It's not just about wanting to do something, but knowing that you must, that you are compelled from within, because failing to act would be a betrayal of your own soul. Think of it like a compass constantly pulling you toward your North Star, even when the path is unclear and the journey is difficult, or a fire that burns so brightly that it cannot be contained. And don't just take my word for it. Psychological research has consistently demonstrated the myriad benefits of having a strong sense of purpose. Studies have shown that individuals with a clear sense of purpose tend to be more resilient in the face of adversity, experience greater levels of mental and physical health, and even live longer. Consider the work of Viktor Frankl, a Holocaust survivor and psychiatrist who developed the concept of man's search for meaning. Frankl observed that even in the most horrific circumstances, those who had a sense of purpose, a reason to live, were more likely to survive and thrive. He found that meaning could be found in work, in love, and even in suffering. His studies revealed that people with purpose not only survived, but continued on to lead meaningful lives. The key is in their perspective on meaning and happiness. Let's also briefly touch on the philosophical concept of ikigai from Japanese culture. Ikigai emphasizes finding joy and purpose in everyday life by aligning your passions, skills, and contributions to the world. Think of it as the intersection of what you love, what you're good at, what the world needs, and what you can be paid for. The beauty of ikigai is that it doesn't require you to find one grand, overarching purpose, but rather to discover meaning in the small, everyday things you do, tying directly back to awareness and attunement of previous sections. So, how does all of this relate back to the signs we've already explored? Here's where it gets interesting. This sense of purpose doesn't exist in isolation. It's deeply connected to the previous signs we've discussed. Heightened awareness allows you to see opportunities for making a difference, noticing the needs of others and the problems that need solving. Your body awareness helps you to align your actions with your physical and energetic needs, ensuring that you're not burning yourself out in pursuit of your purpose. Energetic awareness allows you to tap into the vital force that fuels your passion and drives you forward. Remember our empath from the previous section. Their heightened awareness might lead them to recognize the suffering of others. Their body awareness helps them to understand how they can best use their skills and energy to alleviate that suffering. And their energetic awareness allows them to channel their compassion into effective action. Without those previous signs, the sense of purpose loses its intensity and direction. But here's the twist. Many people believe that you must find your purpose, as if it were some hidden treasure waiting to be discovered. The truth is, while some people may have a singular, preordained purpose, most people create their purpose through a combination of intention, action, and reflection. Think of it like sculpting a statue. You start with a rough block of stone and gradually shape it into something beautiful and meaningful. The clay is the world around you, and the tools are your gifts. By this logic, being a chosen one is not about passively waiting for your destiny to reveal itself. It's about actively participating in the creation of your own purpose through experimentation, self-discovery, and a willingness to take risks and learn from your mistakes. The key is, a sense of purpose can be cultivated through specific practices, transforming a vague feeling into a powerful driving force for positive change. So how can you, the viewer, cultivate a sense of purpose and transform it into a tangible reality? Start by identifying your values and passions through self-reflection exercises. Ask yourself, what do I care about most deeply? What activities make me feel truly alive and engaged? What problems do I want to solve in the world? Next, set meaningful goals that align with your values, breaking them down into smaller, manageable steps. Remember to celebrate your progress along the way, acknowledging your accomplishments and learning from your setbacks. The important thing to remember is that this is not a test or something to be graded, but a journey. Imagine, for example, that you're passionate about environmental conservation. You could start by volunteering at a local park, donating to environmental organizations, or reducing your own carbon footprint. Or perhaps you're passionate about social justice. You could advocate for policy changes, support marginalized communities, or educate others about inequality. Or perhaps you are an artist, creating works to inspire others. The possibilities are endless, and the key is to find a path that resonates with your unique gifts and talents and is something you can start doing today. What impact can you make today? Of course, there are potential pitfalls to be aware of. Becoming overly attached to your purpose and neglecting other important aspects of your life, experiencing burnout from overworking, and feeling discouraged when facing setbacks are all common challenges. The key is to practice self-compassion, setting healthy boundaries, and remembering that your purpose is a journey, not a destination. And here's a thought. A failed business venture, for example, could lead to valuable lessons and a refined sense of purpose, leading you to discover new strengths and passions you never knew you possessed. If you are true to yourself, then you will never be on the wrong path. So, a strong sense of purpose is not just a personal aspiration. It's a powerful force for positive change, driving us to use our gifts and talents to make a meaningful impact on the world, and it is directly tied to our awareness, attunement, and energy levels. But what happens when this sense of purpose collides with unexpected obstacles, forcing you to confront your deepest fears and insecurities? What if that sense of purpose leads you into conflict with established systems? This leads us to the next sign, a willingness to face and overcome fears and challenges, suggesting that it's a natural consequence of pursuing a meaningful purpose. We'll uncover how embracing challenges can unlock hidden strengths, transform limitations into opportunities, and ultimately lead to a more fulfilling and impactful life, linking the chosen one archetype to the ability to persevere in the face of adversity. What if your tendency to confront your fears, instead of shrinking away from them, isn't reckless bravado, but a sign of deep inner strength and a willingness to step into your true potential? What if running towards what scares you is a sign that you're primed to grow beyond your self-imposed limitations? The truth is, a willingness to face and overcome fears and challenges is a key sign of being a chosen one, not as a fearless superhero, but as someone who recognizes fear as a signal for growth and an opportunity to expand their comfort zone. And here's the thing, this courage is a dormant spiritual power, enabling you to break free from limiting beliefs, embrace new experiences, and live a more authentic and fulfilling life. To understand this, let's delve into the science behind fear and courage. At its core, fear is a biological response, hardwired into our brains to protect us from danger. The amygdala, a small almond-shaped structure in the brain, acts as our threat detector, triggering the fight or flight response when it perceives a threat. This response floods our bodies with adrenaline and cortisol, preparing us to either confront the danger or flee from it. But here's the catch. In the modern world, many of the threats we face are not physical dangers, but psychological ones. Public speaking, social rejection, financial insecurity, uncertainty about the future. These anxieties can hijack our amygdala, leading to chronic stress, anxiety, and avoidance behaviors, limiting our potential. But here's where it gets interesting. The prefrontal cortex, the rational part of our brain, can override the amygdala's fear response, allowing us to make more rational decisions based on logic and reason rather than pure emotion. Think of it like a skilled pilot taking control of a plane during turbulence, steering it safely through the storm. This is where courage comes in. It's the ability to use your prefrontal cortex to regulate your fear, assess the actual risk, and choose to act, even when you feel afraid. Psychological research on fear and anxiety has demonstrated the effectiveness of exposure therapy and cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT, in reducing anxiety and increasing confidence. Exposure therapy involves gradually exposing yourself to your fears in a safe and controlled environment, allowing you to desensitize yourself to the triggers. CBT helps you to identify and challenge negative thought patterns that contribute to your anxiety, replacing them with more positive and realistic ones. Consider the work of Albert Bandura, a renowned psychologist who developed the concept of self-efficacy, which is the belief in your ability to succeed in specific situations or accomplish a task. Bandura's research has shown that people with high self-efficacy are more likely to take on challenging tasks, persevere in the face of setbacks, and ultimately achieve their goals. This is the key. Facing our fears and overcoming challenges builds our self-efficacy, creating a virtuous cycle of courage and accomplishment. But let's not forget the philosophical perspectives on courage. Aristotle, for example, viewed courage as a virtue that lies between recklessness and cowardice, emphasizing the importance of balance and wisdom in facing challenges. It's not about being fearless, but about having the wisdom to assess the risks and the courage to act in accordance with your values and principles, and it requires acknowledging your fears and moving forward despite them. This echoes throughout history, from Sun Tzu in The Art of War to modern-day Navy SEAL training programs. Here's how this willingness to face fears connects to the previous signs we've discussed. Heightened awareness allows you to recognize your fears and triggers, noticing the physical and emotional sensations that arise when you feel threatened. Body awareness helps you to feel the physical sensations of fear, such as increased heart rate, rapid breathing, and muscle tension, and to manage them through techniques like deep breathing, progressive muscle relaxation, and mindfulness meditation. Energetic awareness allows you to channel your energy towards overcoming fear, focusing your attention and intention on taking action, rather than dwelling on your anxieties. And finally, a strong sense of purpose provides the motivation to push through challenges, reminding you why you're willing to face your fears in the first place. Imagine, for example, someone with heightened awareness who notices when they are feeling anxious about public speaking. They can use body awareness to calm their nervous system, perhaps by taking deep breaths or practicing mindfulness. They can channel their energy to focus on delivering a compelling presentation, rather than worrying about what others think. And they can draw on their sense of purpose, reminding themselves that their message is important and that they want to share it with the world. This combination of awareness, attunement, energy, and purpose creates a powerful force for overcoming fear and achieving your goals. Now, let's consider how we can cultivate this courage in our everyday lives. The truth is, courage can be cultivated through specific practices, transforming a tendency to avoid challenges into a proactive approach to personal growth and empowerment. So how can you, the viewer, transform your fears into fuel? Start by identifying your fears and ranking them from least to most intimidating, creating a fear ladder. This is an excellent exercise found in many exposure therapy workbooks. Then, gradually expose yourself to your fears, starting with the least intimidating and working your way up the ladder. For example, if you're afraid of public speaking, you might start by practicing in front of a mirror, then speaking to a small group of friends, and eventually giving a presentation to a larger audience. The key is to be patient with yourself and to celebrate your progress along the way. Try practicing mindfulness and self-compassion to manage anxiety. When you feel anxious, take a few deep breaths and remind yourself that it's okay to feel afraid. Practice self-compassion by treating yourself with the same kindness and understanding that you would offer to a friend. And here's the thing. Remember that courage is not the absence of fear, but the willingness to act despite it. What small step can you take today? Imagine you want to speak up for what you believe in, but you're afraid of being criticized or rejected. You can start by sharing your thoughts with a trusted friend or family member, then gradually expressing your views in more public settings, such as online forums or community meetings. Or perhaps you want to pursue your dreams, but you're afraid of failure. You can start by taking small, manageable steps towards your goals, such as taking a class, networking with people in your field, or working on a side project. These specific scenarios can help you to develop your sense of agency. Of course, there are potential pitfalls to be aware of. Becoming reckless and taking unnecessary risks, pushing yourself too hard and experiencing burnout, and becoming overly critical of yourself when you experience setbacks are all common challenges. The key is to seek guidance from mentors or therapists, practice self-care, and remember that courage is not about perfection, but about progress. The book Daring Greatly by Brené Brown is an excellent resource for building resilience and embracing vulnerability in the face of challenges. But here's the thing. Falling down isn't failing if you get back up and keep going. So, a willingness to face and overcome fears and challenges is not just about being brave. It's about unlocking your full potential and living a more authentic and fulfilling life. But what happens when you've conquered your fears and aligned with your purpose, and you feel a deep sense of gratitude for the journey and the gifts you've received? What if the key to unlocking more abundance is to actively and consciously appreciate what you already have? This leads us to the next sign, gratitude. We'll explore how gratitude can amplify your positive experiences, strengthen your relationships, and create a virtuous cycle of abundance and joy, linking the chosen one archetype to a deep appreciation for life and a desire to share their blessings with others. What if your capacity for gratitude, your ability to find joy and appreciation in the simple things, isn't just a Pollyanna attitude, but a powerful force for attracting more goodness into your life? What if noticing the beauty in a sunrise, the kindness of a stranger, or the comfort of your home is more than just a pleasant feeling, but a key to unlocking abundance and fulfillment? The truth is, a deep sense of gratitude is a key sign of being a chosen one, not as a naive optimist oblivious to the world's problems, but as someone who understands the transformative power of appreciation and the law of attraction. And here's the thing, this gratitude is a dormant spiritual power, capable of shifting your perspective, strengthening your relationships, and creating a virtuous cycle of abundance and joy. To truly understand this, we must realize that gratitude isn't just a fleeting emotion that arises when something good happens to you. It's a cultivated mindset, a conscious choice to focus on the positive aspects of life, regardless of circumstances. It's about recognizing the inherent worth and value in everything, even the seemingly mundane. Think of it like this. Your attention is like a spotlight. You can choose to focus it on the darkness, the problems, the things that are lacking, or you can choose to focus it on the light, the blessings, the things that you already have. What you focus on expands. What you appreciate appreciates. Psychological research has consistently demonstrated the profound benefits of gratitude. Studies have shown that practicing gratitude can improve mood, reduce stress, strengthen relationships, increase overall life satisfaction, and even improve physical health. Robert Emmons, a leading expert on gratitude, has conducted extensive research in this area, finding that people who regularly practice gratitude are happier, more resilient, and more optimistic. They also tend to have stronger social connections and are more likely to help others. But here's what most people miss. Gratitude has even been shown to rewire the brain. Studies using fMRI technology reveal that when we experience and express gratitude, specific areas of the brain associated with reward, pleasure, and social bonding are activated. This suggests that gratitude isn't just a nice feeling, it's a neurological process that reinforces positive emotions and behaviors. Philosophical perspectives on gratitude from various traditions reinforce this idea. In many spiritual traditions, gratitude is considered a virtue and a key component of spiritual well-being. Consider the concept of divine grace in Christianity, which emphasizes the importance of recognizing and appreciating the gifts that we receive from God. Or think of the Buddhist practice of metta, or loving kindness meditation, which involves cultivating feelings of gratitude and compassion for oneself and others. In these traditions, gratitude is not just a feeling, but a path to enlightenment and a way to connect with something larger than oneself. This brings us to a key revelation. Gratitude is the recognition that we are all interconnected, that we are all part of something bigger than ourselves. It's about recognizing the abundance that already exists in the universe and our place within it. How does this sense of gratitude connect to the previous signs we've discussed? Heightened awareness allows you to notice the good things in your life, the small blessings that often go unnoticed. Body awareness helps you to feel the positive emotions associated with gratitude, such as joy, contentment, and peace. Energetic awareness allows you to attract more positivity into your life, creating a magnetic field of abundance and well-being. A sense of purpose provides a framework for appreciating the journey, even when it's challenging. And courage allows you to face challenges with a grateful heart, knowing that even difficult experiences can lead to growth and learning. Think of it this way. Heightened awareness is the lens that allows you to see the beauty around you. Body awareness is the instrument that allows you to feel the joy within you. Energetic awareness is the magnet that attracts more positivity into your life. Purpose is the compass that guides you through the journey, and courage is the anchor that keeps you grounded in gratitude, even in the midst of storms. Let's not forget about the concept of scarcity mindset versus abundance mindset. A scarcity mindset is the belief that there is not enough to go around, leading to feelings of anxiety, competition, and resentment. An abundance mindset, on the other hand, is the belief that there is more than enough for everyone, leading to feelings of gratitude, generosity, and joy. Here's the truth. Gratitude is the key to shifting from a scarcity mindset to an abundance mindset. When you focus on what you have, rather than what you lack, you begin to realize that you are already abundant, that you already have everything you need to be happy and fulfilled. So, how can we cultivate gratitude in our everyday lives? The key is to transform a tendency to take things for granted into a conscious appreciation for the gifts in your life. Start by keeping a gratitude journal. Each day, write down 3 to 5 things that you're grateful for. They can be big things, like your health or your family, or small things, like a good cup of coffee or a beautiful sunset. The key is to be specific and to focus on the positive aspects of each experience. Express gratitude to others. Tell your loved ones how much you appreciate them. Send a thank you note to someone who has helped you. Volunteer your time to a cause you care about. These acts of kindness and appreciation not only make others feel good, but they also amplify your own feelings of gratitude. Try practicing gratitude meditations. There are many guided meditations available online that can help you to cultivate feelings of gratitude and appreciation. Savor positive experiences. When something good happens, take the time to fully experience it. Notice the sights, sounds, smells, and sensations. Allow yourself to feel the joy and gratitude fully. And here's where it gets interesting. Savoring positive experiences can actually prolong the positive effects of those experiences, creating a lasting sense of well-being. Imagine you want to improve your relationships. Express your appreciation to your loved ones by telling them how much you value their presence in your life. Think about how you can enhance your career success. Focus on the positive aspects of your work and express gratitude for the opportunities you have. What if you are navigating difficult times? Find things to be grateful for even in the midst of challenges. Focus on the lessons you are learning, the strength you are developing, and the support you are receiving. Of course, there are potential pitfalls to be aware of. Using gratitude as a way to avoid addressing difficult emotions or ignoring real problems. Feeling guilty or ashamed when you struggle to feel grateful. And becoming overly focused on manifesting abundance and losing sight of the true meaning of gratitude are all common challenges. But here's the thing. Gratitude is not about denying reality, but about choosing to focus on the positive aspects of it, even in the midst of difficulty. Practice self-compassion. Acknowledge your difficult emotions. Remember that gratitude is not about perfection, but about progress. The truth is, writing a letter of gratitude to someone you appreciate can profoundly improve your feelings of connection to them. You can also reflect on past challenges and write down what they've taught you. And it's vital to remember that gratitude enhances well-being, but isn't a replacement for mental health care. But here's the key point. A deep sense of gratitude is not just about being polite. It's about unlocking a powerful force for positive change, shifting your perspective, strengthening your relationships, and creating a virtuous cycle of abundance and joy. But what happens when this deep sense of gratitude combines with a profound sense of inner peace, a stillness that transcends the ups and downs of life? What if you're thankful and at peace despite everything? This leads us to the next sign, inner peace. We'll reveal how inner peace can provide a foundation for resilience, wisdom, and unwavering joy, linking the chosen one archetype to a state of serenity and equanimity that radiates outwards and inspires others, suggesting the importance of the individual becoming the eye of the storm. What if the world needs you to be the calm in the chaos? What if the ability to remain calm and centered amidst chaos, to find stillness within the storm, isn't just a desirable trait, but the ultimate source of strength and clarity? What if this inner peace is more powerful than any external force, capable of transforming your relationships, your career, and even your perception of reality? The truth is, profound inner peace is the ultimate sign of being a chosen one, not as an absence of emotion or a detachment from the world, but as a cultivated state of equanimity and resilience that empowers you to navigate life's challenges with grace and wisdom. And here's the thing. This inner peace is the culmination of all the previously discussed dormant spiritual powers, the ultimate expression of self-mastery, allowing you to remain a beacon of stability and hope for those around you. To truly understand this, you must realize that inner peace is not the absence of conflict, but the ability to remain centered and grounded in the face of adversity, drawing upon inner resources to maintain equilibrium. It's not about escaping the storm, but about becoming the eye of the storm. Think of it like this. Life is a turbulent ocean, full of waves, currents, and unpredictable weather. Inner peace is the anchor that keeps you grounded, the compass that guides you through the storm, and the sails that allow you to harness the energy of the waves. It is about cultivating the ability to witness the waves without being swept away by them. Psychological research on resilience highlights how individuals with high levels of resilience are better able to cope with stress, overcome challenges, and bounce back from setbacks. Studies show that resilient people possess a unique combination of inner resources, including optimism, self-efficacy, social support, and coping skills. Researchers studying post-traumatic growth have found that individuals who experience trauma can often emerge stronger and more resilient than they were before, a testament to the human capacity for healing and transformation. But here's what most people miss. Inner peace is not just a personality trait, it's a skill that can be cultivated and strengthened through practice. Consider the practice of mindfulness and its impact on cultivating inner peace. Mindfulness is the practice of paying attention to the present moment without judgment, observing your thoughts, feelings, and sensations as they arise and pass away. Jon Kabat-Zinn, a pioneer in the field of mindfulness, has shown that mindfulness meditation can reduce stress, improve mood, increase focus, and enhance overall well-being. But here's the key. Mindfulness is not about emptying your mind or suppressing your thoughts. It's about learning to observe your thoughts without getting carried away by them, creating space between yourself and your mental chatter. Now, let's consider the philosophical concept of detachment, non-attachment, and how it can lead to greater inner peace by reducing suffering caused by clinging to desires, outcomes, or identities. Buddhist teachings on impermanence emphasize the idea that everything is constantly changing, that nothing lasts forever. Therefore, clinging to things that are inherently impermanent is a recipe for suffering. But here's the thing. Detachment is not about becoming indifferent or apathetic. It's about learning to appreciate things without becoming attached to them, recognizing that true happiness comes from within, not from external circumstances. How does this inner peace connect to the previous signs we've discussed? Heightened awareness allows you to observe your thoughts and emotions without judgment. Body awareness helps you to regulate your nervous system and calm your mind. Energetic awareness allows you to balance your energy field and promote a sense of well-being. A sense of purpose provides a compass to navigate difficult times. Courage empowers you to face your fears and overcome challenges. And gratitude shifts your focus to the positive aspects of life, fostering contentment. Think of it this way. Someone with heightened awareness might notice when they are feeling stressed, use body awareness to calm their breathing, channel their energy to focus on the present moment, draw on their sense of purpose to remember what's important, face their fears with courage, and cultivate gratitude for the simple things in life. Inner peace is the harmonious integration of all these qualities. Inner peace can be cultivated through specific practices, transforming a tendency to react impulsively into a conscious choice to respond with wisdom and compassion. This is vital because many of the unchosen, so to speak, react without processing first. One of the most common and helpful techniques is to practice mindfulness meditation daily. Even just 10-15 minutes can make a difference. Find a quiet place, sit comfortably, close your eyes, and focus on your breath. When your mind wanders, gently redirect your attention back to your breath. Develop self-compassion to treat yourself with kindness during difficult times. Imagine talking to yourself as you would talk to a close friend who is struggling. This technique helps create a safe space for growth. Learning to let go of attachments to outcomes and identities can also be life-changing. Practice observing your thoughts and feelings without judgment, recognizing that they are not permanent or fixed. Engage in activities that promote relaxation and stress reduction, such as spending time in nature, listening to calming music, or practicing yoga. These activities can help to soothe your nervous system and promote a sense of inner peace. For example, nature is a powerful reset. If you're feeling overwhelmed, take a walk in a park or forest. The fresh air, the natural beauty, and the sounds of nature can have a calming effect on your mind and body. How can you use inner peace in different contexts? You can navigate conflict with grace and understanding by listening to the other person's perspective, seeking common ground, and responding with compassion, even when you disagree. You can make difficult decisions with clarity and wisdom by taking a step back, observing your thoughts and feelings without judgment, and aligning your choices with your values and purpose. Think of it like this. If you are facing a difficult decision at work, take a few moments to pause, breathe deeply, and connect with your inner peace. Ask yourself, what is the most compassionate and wise course of action? Maintain composure in stressful situations by practicing mindfulness, regulating your breathing, and focusing on the present moment. Offering support and guidance to others in need can also be done from a place of inner peace and allows you to be fully present, empathetic, and supportive without getting emotionally overwhelmed. For example, imagine that a friend is going through a difficult time. Rather than trying to fix their problems or offer unsolicited advice, simply listen to them with compassion and offer your support. Let them know that you are there for them and that they are not alone. Of course, there are potential pitfalls, mistaking inner peace for apathy or indifference, using inner peace as a way to avoid taking action, and becoming overly attached to the idea of being peaceful and judging yourself when you experience negative emotions. But here's the thing. Inner peace is not about suppressing emotions, but about accepting them with compassion, understanding that inner peace empowers you to take action from a place of clarity, and recognizing that inner peace is a journey, not a destination. The journey is a continuous path through chaos and order, and we need both. If you find yourself getting overly attached to the idea of being peaceful, remember that it's okay to experience a full range of emotions. Allow yourself to feel your feelings without judgment and trust that you can return to your inner peace when you are ready. Consider specific mindfulness meditations for cultivating inner peace. A body scan meditation involves bringing awareness to different parts of your body, noticing any sensations that arise without judgment. A loving kindness meditation involves cultivating feelings of compassion and kindness for yourself and others, sending wishes of peace and happiness to all beings. Try a walking meditation by paying attention to the sensations of your feet as they make contact with the ground, coordinating your steps with your breath. A profound sense of inner peace is not just a personal achievement. It's the ultimate expression of self-mastery, empowering you to navigate life's challenges with grace and wisdom, and to inspire others to find their own inner peace. This inner peace has been cultivated throughout the video by understanding heightened awareness, embodiment, energy, sense of purpose, courage, and gratitude. It allows the chosen one to become the calm in the chaos. But now that you are aware of the 7 signs of being a chosen one, how do you think this translates into the broader picture of your life's path? How does the development of these strengths help unlock your potential? In the next video, we'll bring it all together. What we'll reveal about the broader picture of your life and its potential for impact may be the most transformative thing you hear this year. Now that you recognize the 7 signs within yourself, what if the real power lies not in mastering each sign individually, but in orchestrating them together, creating a harmonious symphony of your unique potential? Are you ready to conduct your life? The truth is, being a chosen one isn't about possessing isolated strengths, but about integrating these strengths into a cohesive and powerful whole, the integrated self, which is far greater than the sum of its parts. This integration is the ultimate spiritual power, enabling you to manifest your purpose with greater clarity, resilience, and impact, transforming your individual potential into a force for positive change in the world. To truly understand this, you must realize that the integrated self is a state of wholeness where each of the 7 signs, empathy, intuition, creative impulse, non-conformity, solitude, interconnectedness, and inner peace work synergistically to enhance and amplify one another, creating a positive feedback loop. Think of it like this. Each sign is an instrument in an orchestra. On its own, each instrument is capable of producing beautiful music. However, when all instruments are played together in harmony, a symphony of unparalleled beauty and power emerges. The integrated self operates in the same way, taking seemingly independent strengths and weaving them together into a masterpiece of human potential. Consider how empathy fuels intuition, allowing you to understand the needs of others on a deeper level and guide your creative impulse to develop solutions that resonate with their needs. For example, someone with high empathy might sense the loneliness of elderly people in their community. This intuitive understanding can spark a creative impulse to design a program that connects them with younger generations, providing companionship and support. Without empathy, the creative impulse might focus on solving a purely theoretical problem, but with empathy, it becomes a force for positive social change. It's this synergy that allows for greater impact. What about the interplay between nonconformity and solitude? Nonconformity challenges the status quo, creating space for innovative solutions and authentic self-expression, while solitude provides the space for introspection and refinement. Think of the great artists, scientists, and inventors throughout history who dared to challenge conventional wisdom. Their nonconformity, combined with periods of deep solitude for reflection and experimentation, led to breakthroughs that transformed the world. But here's the thing. Without solitude, nonconformity can become mere rebellion, a rejection of tradition without a clear purpose. Solitude provides the grounding and clarity needed to channel nonconformity into constructive innovation. Consider Elon Musk's blend of challenging established norms in the automotive and space industries, and then coupling that with intense periods of focus. Without both, the innovation is impossible. Now, consider how understanding interconnectedness drives a desire to create positive change on a global scale, where inner peace provides the resilience and perspective needed to navigate challenges and maintain a sense of gratitude throughout the journey. Someone who deeply understands the interconnectedness of all things recognizes that their actions have far-reaching consequences, both positive and negative. This understanding fuels a desire to contribute to a more sustainable and equitable world. However, the path to creating positive change is often fraught with challenges, setbacks, and moments of discouragement. Inner peace provides the resilience and perspective needed to navigate these challenges, maintain a sense of hope, and stay focused on the ultimate goal. It is like a marathon runner who understands the importance of pacing themselves and maintaining a positive attitude, even when they encounter obstacles along the way. Here's where it gets interesting. The integrated self operates beyond isolated traits to create an emergent property of empowered action, a cohesive and intentional life path. Imagine an individual feeling a creative impulse to create something new. They would rely on intuition to develop something novel, then use non-conformity to create something unique, all while at peace with themselves and others. In this example, the integration is the key, and it takes this past the level of a hobby. It is not just about having a creative impulse or feeling inner peace, but about leveraging all of these in unison to create something that reflects a sense of interconnectedness for the better of the world. In essence, the integrated self is not just the sum of its parts, but a force that amplifies individual strengths for maximum impact. But here's the thing. The integrated self isn't just a theoretical concept. It's a practical framework for living a more meaningful and impactful life by translating inner harmony into global change. What steps can you take to cultivate your integrated self? Start by consciously connecting and integrating your unique strengths, identifying areas where your signs may be out of balance, and developing strategies to create greater harmony within yourself. Think about your daily routines and habits. Are they aligned with your values and purpose? Are you nurturing all aspects of your being, your mind, body, and spirit? The key is to become more aware of your internal landscape and make conscious choices that support your overall well-being. How can you use your integrated self in different contexts? You can use your integrated strengths to tackle complex problems in your communities, building stronger and more fulfilling relationships, and creating a more sustainable and equitable world. Imagine using your empathy and intuition to understand the needs of marginalized communities, then using your creative impulse and non-conformity to develop innovative solutions that address those needs. You can use your solitude and interconnectedness to connect with your inner wisdom and gain a broader perspective on global challenges. Then use your inner peace and courage to take action, even in the face of adversity. Think of it like being a conductor who leads their orchestra to create a masterpiece, using their unique skills and talents to bring out the best in others and create something beautiful and meaningful. However, be wary of potential pitfalls. What happens if you focus too much on one sign and neglect others? What happens if you become overwhelmed by the complexity of integrating all 7 signs? What happens if you feel discouraged when you experience setbacks? The most important thing to remember is that integration is a lifelong journey, not a destination. Practice self-compassion, seek guidance from mentors or coaches, and remember that setbacks are opportunities for growth and learning. Think of it like learning to play a musical instrument. It takes time, practice, and patience to master the instrument, and there will be times when you feel frustrated or discouraged. However, with persistence and dedication, you can overcome these challenges and create beautiful music. Imagine a scenario where an individual uses each of the signs in unison to develop a unique invention that benefits their community. Suppose a person understands they must help others, empathy, then is divinely inspired to use non-conformity to create a solution that has not been previously attempted, creative impulse, non-conformity. They then tap into a personal sense of peace that allows them to accept failure as a part of the inventive process, inner peace, interconnectedness. This, in turn, could lead to a sustainable energy solution for their town, addressing both environmental and economic needs. The beauty of integration is that, when put together, all of the components of the individual's gifts create something that is bigger than themselves, a legacy of sorts. The power to create change relies on integrating the strengths you already possess. Integrating heightened awareness, embodiment, energy, sense of purpose, courage, and gratitude enables you to make the world a better place. But now that you're aware of the signs of a chosen one within, how will you embrace this new understanding of yourself? What's the next step for you as you unlock these powers? The next step is critical in understanding yourself and changing the world for the better. By embracing their unique potential, they can create a more meaningful and fulfilling life and make a positive impact on the world. Remember that your next step may be the most important one you ever take. What if the most challenging, traumatic experiences in your life aren't roadblocks, but rather the very sparks that ignite your dormant spiritual powers, forging you into an even stronger and more purposeful, chosen one? Is it possible that the events that have wounded you the deepest are actually the keys to unlocking your greatest potential? The truth is, even seemingly insurmountable trauma can serve as a catalyst for profound transformation, accelerating the awakening and integration of the 7 signs, leading to a deeper understanding of yourself and a more meaningful impact on the world. To truly grasp this, consider that the ability to alchemize trauma into growth might be the ultimate test of the integrated self, revealing the true depth of your resilience, compassion, and capacity for positive change. Trauma, while undeniably painful, possesses the unique ability to shatter old beliefs and patterns, creating space for new growth and a more authentic understanding of yourself and the world around you. This concept, known as post-traumatic growth, suggests that adversity can lead to positive psychological change. Richard Tedeschi and Lawrence Calhoun, pioneers in this field, have found that individuals who experience trauma often emerge with a greater sense of purpose, stronger relationships, and a deeper appreciation for life. But how does one move from simply surviving trauma to actually thriving because of it? Here's where it gets interesting. Trauma can also trigger what's known as spiritual emergence, a process of psychological transformation leading to a deeper connection with your spiritual nature and a more profound understanding of the universe. Think of it like this. Trauma thrusts us into what's called liminal space, the transitional period between one state and another. This is similar to a caterpillar entering a chrysalis, a period of complete deconstruction before a magnificent transformation. These experiences, though difficult, are often opportunities in disguise, moments where the universe is essentially saying, "It's time to shed your old skin and become who you were truly meant to be." But how can we ensure that we emerge from this chrysalis stronger and more aligned with our purpose? The key lies in connecting this alchemical process to the 7 signs we've already discussed. Each sign can play a vital role in healing from trauma and fostering post-traumatic growth. Empathy allows you to connect with others who have faced similar challenges, creating a sense of community and shared understanding. Intuition guides you toward healing modalities and support systems that resonate with your unique needs. Creativity enables you to express your pain, process your emotions, and find meaning in your experiences. Nonconformity challenges limiting beliefs and societal expectations surrounding trauma, empowering you to break free from victimhood. Solitude provides space for self-reflection and processing, allowing you to integrate the lessons learned. Interconnectedness reminds you that you are not alone, fostering a sense of belonging and support. And inner peace provides a foundation for resilience and hope, enabling you to navigate the healing journey with grace and fortitude. It's like constructing a sturdy ship to weather a storm. Each plank, each sail, represents a different sign, contributing to your overall resilience. Now, let's explore how you can actively transcend trauma and transition from victim to victor. While trauma is never something to be sought out, it can be transformed into a source of strength, wisdom, and compassion, empowering you to live a more meaningful and impactful life. What actionable steps can you take to navigate trauma and foster post-traumatic growth? First and foremost, seek professional support from therapists or counselors who specialize in trauma-informed care. These professionals can provide guidance, tools, and a safe space for you to process your experiences and develop healthy coping mechanisms. Second, prioritize self-care and well-being. Engage in activities that nourish your mind, body, and spirit, such as exercise, meditation, spending time in nature, or pursuing creative hobbies. Third, connect with supportive communities of individuals who have experienced similar challenges. Sharing your story and connecting with others can reduce feelings of isolation and provide a sense of belonging. Finally, find ways to give back to others. Helping those in need can be incredibly empowering, transforming your pain into a source of positive change. Here are some specific scenarios of how you can use the 7 signs to navigate trauma and foster post-traumatic growth. Imagine using your empathy to connect with a support group for survivors of similar trauma, creating a safe space for vulnerability and healing. Picture using your intuition to guide you towards a specific type of therapy or healing modality that resonates with your inner knowing. Envision using your creativity to express your pain through art, music, or writing, transforming your experiences into something beautiful and meaningful. Consider using your nonconformity to challenge limiting beliefs about trauma, refusing to be defined by your past. Visualize using solitude to engage in deep self-reflection, processing your emotions, and gaining insights into your experiences. Imagine using your interconnectedness to connect with a global community of healers and advocates, finding strength and inspiration in collective action. And envision using your inner peace to cultivate a sense of calm amidst the storm, trusting that you have the strength to navigate the healing journey. However, be wary of potential pitfalls. What happens if you become stuck in victimhood, constantly reliving your trauma and identifying solely as a survivor? What happens if you blame yourself for your experiences, internalizing the pain and shame? What happens if you suppress your emotions, avoiding the discomfort of processing your trauma? What happens if you isolate yourself from others, believing that no one can understand what you've been through? To overcome these challenges, practice self-compassion, reminding yourself that you are worthy of love, kindness, and healing. Seek support from loved ones, allowing them to offer comfort and encouragement. Remember that healing is a journey, not a destination, and there will be ups and downs along the way. Most importantly, understand that reframing trauma doesn't mean celebrating the trauma, but rather viewing it in a new, more empowering light. With the right mindset, trauma can become a superpower, as the lessons learned are often immensely valuable and would not have been obtained otherwise. So, as you rise from the ashes, remember this. Trauma, while deeply painful, can serve as a catalyst for profound transformation, accelerating the awakening and integration of your dormant spiritual powers and leading to a more meaningful and impactful life. Even the negative events of life serve a purpose, and the powers you've gained access to will help you understand that more easily. Now the question is, if these are the signs, what actions can you take to make meaningful change? How do you use that chosen one status to truly transform not only yourself, but the world around you? Remember, the chosen one archetype isn't about destiny, but about actively choosing to embrace your potential and make a positive impact on the world, starting now. And we'll explore how to actually do that in the next section. Now that you recognize these signs within yourself, is this knowledge simply an interesting idea, a fleeting spark of inspiration? Or will you actually use this understanding to catalyze profound change in your own life, and more importantly, in the world around you? Will this newfound awareness simply become another piece of forgotten trivia, or will it be the ignition switch that finally sets your potential ablaze? What's the next step? Here's the thing. Recognizing these signs is not the end goal, the finish line after a long race, but rather the starting point, the trailhead leading into uncharted territory. The chosen one archetype is only activated through conscious and deliberate action, a focused intention geared towards positive impact. Simply possessing these traits is not enough. They must be wielded, cultivated, and directed toward a purpose. Think of it like having a collection of rare and potent ingredients. Unless you combine them with intention and skill, they remain just a collection of individual components. The true alchemy occurs when you transform them into something greater than the sum of their parts. What will you create? Embracing this chosen one status means accepting a responsibility, a sacred contract with yourself and the world around you, to use your unique gifts and talents to contribute to something larger than yourself, to become a force for good in a world that desperately needs it. It's not about arrogance or superiority. It's about recognizing that you have a unique role to play, a specific set of skills and experiences that can make a difference. It's about stepping into your power and wielding it with wisdom, compassion, and unwavering commitment. The question, then, isn't whether you can make a difference, but whether you will. What impact will you choose to have? The chosen one archetype is, at its core, about service and contribution, a deep-seated desire to alleviate suffering, promote justice, and create a more harmonious world. This resonates with concepts like seva in Hinduism, selfless service performed without expectation of reward, and the bodhisattva, ideal in Buddhism, where enlightened beings postpone their own nirvana to help others achieve enlightenment. The key lies in understanding that your own growth and fulfillment are inextricably linked to the well-being of others. By serving others, you not only uplift them, but also unlock your own potential and experience a deeper sense of purpose. How can you align your actions with these ideals of service and compassion? Consider individuals throughout history who have embodied this archetype by using their unique gifts and talents to make a positive impact on the world. Nelson Mandela, with his unwavering empathy and non-conformity, fought tirelessly against apartheid, inspiring millions to believe in a future of equality and justice. Mother Teresa, driven by her deep intuition and compassion, dedicated her life to serving the poorest of the poor, offering solace and dignity to those often forgotten by society. Malala Yousafzai, despite facing immense adversity, fearlessly advocated for girls' education, demonstrating the power of non-conformity and inner peace to challenge oppressive systems. Each of these figures, in their own unique way, embodied the 7 signs and used them to create a ripple effect of positive change. What lessons can we learn from their examples? Empathy fuels action, providing the motivation to address the needs of others. Intuition guides action, helping you to identify the most effective solutions. Creativity inspires action, enabling you to develop innovative approaches. Nonconformity challenges the status quo, creating space for transformative action. Solitude provides the space for reflection and planning. Interconnectedness reminds you of the ripple effect of your actions, and inner peace provides the resilience to persevere in the face of adversity. For example, an empathetic individual might intuitively realize the need for a specific program to support homeless youth, then implement it non-conformally, challenging conventional approaches and creating a truly impactful solution. Each trait acts as a catalyst, igniting a chain reaction of positive change. How can you harness these traits to create your own chain reaction? The ultimate goal is to benefit as many people as possible, not just oneself. While personal growth and self-improvement are important, the chosen one archetype transcends ego-driven pursuits and focuses on the collective good. It's about recognizing that we are all interconnected, and that our actions have a ripple effect that extends far beyond our immediate surroundings. It's about aligning your personal aspirations with a larger purpose, and using your unique gifts to contribute to a more just, equitable, and sustainable world. Think of it like a pebble dropped into a pond. The ripples may start small, but they eventually reach the far shores. What ripples will you create? Remember the importance of thinking globally, acting locally, understanding how small, everyday actions can contribute to larger systemic change. It is not necessary to solve major world problems single-handedly, but to use your skills to address something smaller and more specific to your surroundings, whether it's volunteering at a local food bank, starting a community garden, or advocating for a local environmental initiative. The key is to find a cause that resonates with your passions and values, and to take consistent action no matter how small. Every act of kindness, every gesture of compassion, every effort to create positive change contributes to the overall well-being of the planet. Where can you start making a difference in your own community? Embracing your chosen one status means taking concrete steps to use your unique gifts and talents to make a positive impact on the world, starting now. Identify a problem you care deeply about, something that sparks your passion and ignites your sense of injustice. Connect with others who share your passion, building a community of like-minded individuals who can support and inspire you. Develop a plan of action, breaking down your goals into smaller, manageable steps. Take small steps towards your goals, celebrating your progress along the way. The journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step, and every step you take brings you closer to your destination. What small step can you take today? There are countless ways to use your chosen one traits in different contexts. You could volunteer your time to organizations that address social or environmental issues, offering your skills and expertise to those in need. You could start a business that promotes social good, creating products or services that benefit both people and the planet. You could create art that inspires positive change, using your creativity to uplift, inspire, and challenge societal norms. You could advocate for policies that support a more just and equitable world, using your voice to amplify the voices of the marginalized. Or you could simply be a kind and compassionate presence in your communities, offering support, encouragement, and empathy to those around you. Imagine an empathetic individual starting a local initiative to provide meals and shelter to the homeless, while a creative individual uses art to raise awareness about climate change, and a nonconformist advocates for policy changes to address systemic inequality. How will you choose to express your unique gifts? Be aware of potential pitfalls. You might become overwhelmed by the magnitude of the world's problems, feeling discouraged and powerless in the face of such immense challenges. You might feel discouraged when facing setbacks, questioning your abilities and losing faith in your mission. You might neglect self-care in the pursuit of your goals, burning yourself out and losing sight of your own well-being. To overcome these challenges, focus on small, manageable actions, breaking down your goals into smaller, more achievable steps. Celebrate small victories, acknowledging your progress and reinforcing your motivation. Connect with others for support, sharing your experiences and receiving encouragement from your community. And remember that progress is not always linear, and setbacks are simply opportunities for growth and learning. How will you navigate these challenges? Take action today. Make a list of things you are good at and match them with community organizations that need help. Research organizations that are making a difference in areas you care about and see where you can lend your time, talent, or resources. Dedicate just 1 hour per week to a cause you find important. Recognizing your chosen one traits is just the beginning, the prelude to a symphony of action. The true power lies in taking action to use those traits to make a positive impact on the world. It is a continuous journey, not a destination, a lifelong exploration of your potential. It is not enough to only be aware of the traits. The traits must be harnessed through action, directed toward a purpose, and refined through experience. So, now what? How do you connect with others, continue to learn, and refine the set of powers you now have access to? Where do you find others who share your vision and can support your journey? The answer, and the beginning of a new chapter, lies in community. In the outro of this video, we'll encourage you to join a community of like-minded individuals, share your experiences, learn from others, and collaborate to create a better world. Think of it like joining a tribe of fellow travelers, each with their own unique skills and insights, all working together towards a common goal. By connecting with others, you can amplify your impact and create a ripple effect of positive change that extends far beyond your individual efforts, perpetuating these positive traits into the lives of others. This is just the start of the path. Now that you're ready to act, what if your greatest power lies not in solitary action, but in joining forces with others who share your vision? creating a powerful community that amplifies your individual efforts. What if the key to unlocking your full potential as a chosen one isn't about going it alone, but about connecting with a tribe, a network, a collective of like-minded souls? Here's the thing. Building and participating in a supportive community is the next crucial step in embracing the chosen one archetype, enabling collective action and exponential impact. This community catalyst role is a dormant spiritual power, capable of transforming individual potential into a global movement for positive change, ignited through understanding and decisive action. It's about recognizing that your individual spark can ignite a wildfire when combined with the sparks of others, creating a force that can reshape the world. Are you ready to find your tribe and set the world ablaze? A strong community provides several key benefits, acting as a fertile ground for growth, innovation, and transformation. Shared knowledge and resources become readily accessible, creating a collective intelligence that far surpasses individual capabilities. Emotional support and encouragement provide a buffer against setbacks and discouragement, keeping you motivated and resilient. Accountability and motivation keep you on track, ensuring that you stay committed to your goals. And perhaps most importantly, a strong community provides a platform for collective action, enabling you to achieve goals that would be impossible to accomplish alone. Think of it like a symphony orchestra. Each musician is talented in their own right, but it's only when they come together, guided by a shared vision, that they create something truly magnificent. Research on the power of social networks and collective action consistently highlights the immense potential of communities to drive change. Studies have shown how communities can mobilize resources, influence policy, and achieve social and environmental goals that individuals cannot accomplish alone. Consider the civil rights movement in the United States, where communities of activists, organizers, and everyday citizens came together to challenge systemic injustice and create lasting change. Or think of the environmental movement, where communities of scientists, advocates, and concerned citizens are working to address climate change and protect our planet. These examples demonstrate the transformative power of community when fueled by a shared purpose and a collective commitment to action. But here's the thing. Not all communities are created equal. A thriving community is built upon a foundation of shared values and purpose, where members are united by a common vision and a desire to make a difference. Open communication and collaboration are essential, fostering trust, transparency, and a willingness to share ideas and resources. Mutual respect and support create a safe and nurturing environment where members feel valued, appreciated, and empowered to contribute their unique gifts and talents. And a commitment to growth and learning ensures that the community remains dynamic, adaptable, and responsive to the evolving needs of its members and the world around them. However, communities aren't without their dangers. Groupthink, the tendency to conform to the prevailing opinions within a group, can stifle creativity, critical thinking, and independent action. Echo chambers, where members are only exposed to information that confirms their existing beliefs, can reinforce biases and limit exposure to diverse perspectives. Cliques and power struggles can create division, undermine trust, and hinder collaboration. It's important to recognize these potential pitfalls and actively work to mitigate them by fostering open dialogue, encouraging dissent, and promoting inclusivity. Now, how do these traits we have discussed connect with the other, chosen one signs? Empathy allows you to connect with like-minded individuals, understanding their needs and aspirations, and building strong, meaningful relationships. Intuition guides you to the right communities and collaborations, helping you to discern which groups align with your values and purpose. Creativity inspires you to contribute your unique gifts and talents to the community, developing innovative solutions and fostering a spirit of experimentation. Nonconformity challenges groupthink and promotes diverse perspectives, ensuring that the community remains open-minded and adaptable. Solitude provides space for reflection and contribution, allowing you to recharge, reconnect with your inner wisdom, and develop new ideas to share with the community. Interconnectedness reminds you of your shared humanity, fostering a sense of compassion, empathy, and solidarity with all members of the community. Inner peace allows you to navigate conflicts and maintain harmony within the group, resolving disagreements constructively and promoting a spirit of collaboration. And action, of course, is the engine that drives the community forward, translating shared values and aspirations into tangible results. Becoming a community catalyst means actively seeking out, fostering, and contributing to communities that align with your values and purpose, both online and offline. It's about taking the initiative to connect with others who share your passions, building relationships, and working together to create positive change. To start, identify your passions and interests, the causes that ignite your soul and inspire you to make a difference. Then, research existing communities that align with those passions, both online and offline, exploring local organizations, online forums, social media groups, and professional networks. Attend local events and workshops, participating in discussions, networking with other members, and learning from their experiences. Join online forums and groups, actively participating in discussions, sharing your insights, and offering support to others. Here's how you can use your chosen one traits to contribute to your communities. Imagine an empathetic individual using their ability to understand the needs of other members, creating support groups or mentorship programs. Or imagine an intuitive individual identifying opportunities for collaboration, connecting different members with complementary skills and resources. A creative individual might develop innovative solutions to community challenges, designing new programs or initiatives. A nonconformist might challenge conventional thinking, pushing the community to embrace new ideas and approaches. Someone who values solitude might create value by taking time to research solutions and propose new ideas. Someone who understands interconnectedness may organize events that help bring awareness to social justice and the planet. Someone with inner peace might be able to negotiate interpersonal issues, helping each person see all sides. And someone who values action will get out into the community and perform service to make a change. Be aware of potential pitfalls. You might become overly reliant on the community and neglecting your own individual growth, losing sight of your own values and purpose. You might experience conflict with other members, struggling to navigate disagreements and maintain harmonious relationships. You might feel overwhelmed by the demands of community involvement, burning yourself out and losing sight of your own well-being. To overcome these challenges, maintain a healthy balance between individual and community pursuits, setting boundaries and prioritizing self-care. Practice respectful communication and conflict resolution, learning to listen actively, express your needs assertively, and find mutually agreeable solutions. And regularly reflect on your own values and purpose, ensuring that your community involvement remains aligned with your own personal growth and fulfillment. Perhaps you don't find a community that suits you, which is also something you can change. In this case, create your own community. Start with a shared passion or goal. Recruit others who align with this passion. Set up events and opportunities to meet. Create rules and guidelines for how the community is supposed to function. Take action and get out into the world. Ultimately, building and participating in supportive communities is a powerful way to amplify your individual efforts and create a ripple effect of positive change that extends far beyond your individual reach. What most fail to see is that this collective will have access to a series of traits they can use to their advantage for making the world a better place. How can you take these steps today? Now that you understand how to ignite the powers within you and within your community, how will you use your expanded awareness to bring about that change? How will you transform your understanding into action, your potential into reality, and your individual spark into a wildfire of positive change? What unique contribution will you make to the communities you join or create, and how will you inspire others to do the same? In the outro of this video, we'll reiterate the key themes, offer a final call to action, and invite you to continue your journey of self-discovery and positive impact. Are you ready to embrace this chosen one status and take action to make the world a better place? This is just the beginning. And so, as we've explored these 7 signs, from the depths of empathy to the serenity of inner peace, you've likely begun to see yourself and your potential in a new light. You've questioned whether these unique traits that you see within you, these unusual powers, are something that you can harness and use to make a difference. But what does it all mean now that you can identify these powers within? Here's the truth. These 7 signs aren't just individual traits. They're interconnected facets of what we're calling the integrated self. Think of them not as separate tools in a toolbox, but as interwoven threads in a tapestry. Your empathy fuels your intuition, allowing you to sense the needs of others and the direction in which to channel your creative impulses. Your nonconformity empowers you to challenge the status quo and forge your own path, while your solitude provides the space for reflection and inner growth. The deep sense of interconnectedness reminds you that you are part of something larger than yourself, inspiring you to contribute to the greater good, and inner peace provides the foundation for resilience, allowing you to navigate challenges with grace and equanimity. Embracing this chosen one archetype isn't about fulfilling a predetermined destiny. It's about recognizing, cultivating, and actively developing these inherent strengths to become the most authentic and impactful version of yourself. The concept of the integrated self extends far beyond individual traits. It connects to the very essence of human potential. It speaks to our innate capacity for growth, transformation, and contribution. Each individual possesses a unique set of gifts, talents, and perspectives that, when fully embraced, can create a ripple effect of positive change in the world. Just imagine a world where everyone recognized their unique potential, where empathy guided our interactions, where creativity fueled innovation, where interconnectedness fostered compassion, and where inner peace anchored our actions. Each individual holds a piece of a puzzle, and only by coming together can we create a complete and harmonious picture. By embracing your chosen one traits, you become a catalyst for positive change, not only in your own life, but also in your communities and beyond. What will you change? As you stand on the threshold of this new understanding, remember that you are not alone on this journey. There is a global community of like-minded individuals who share your values, your aspirations, and your commitment to making a difference. This journey towards the integrated self is never easy. You may encounter obstacles, setbacks, and moments of self-doubt. You may also face the challenge of balancing your own needs and desires with the needs of others, navigating the complexities of relationships, and managing the demands of daily life. But know that you possess the inner resources to overcome these challenges, that you are resilient, resourceful, and capable of achieving far more than you ever thought possible. Becoming the chosen one isn't about being perfect. It's about embracing your imperfections, learning from your mistakes, and showing up with courage, compassion, and a willingness to serve. The key is understanding your power. What impact will you have on your community and the wider world now that you recognize these powers within you? How will you use your unique blend of empathy, intuition, creativity, non-conformity, solitude, interconnectedness, and inner peace to create positive change? What projects will you initiate? What conversations will you spark? And what actions will you take to make the world a more just, equitable, and sustainable place? What impact will it have on your friends and family? As you embark on this journey, remember that the path is not always clear, and the destination may not always be visible. But trust in your own inner compass, follow your intuition, and take one step at a time, knowing that every effort, no matter how small, contributes to the greater good. Take time to explore resources for personal growth, connect with local community organizations, or start your own projects. Your journey has just begun. As you embark on this path, I would like to make an explicit and implicit call to action. First, I would like to encourage you to join a community of like-minded individuals to share your experiences, learn from others, and collaborate to create a better world, while understanding that your traits, even alone, can make all the difference. You have the power to impact the world, even if it is just through the ripple effect you have on your neighbors. Second, I invite you to reflect on the 7 signs and identify which ones you resonate with most, and consider ways to cultivate them further. Think about how you can use your unique skills to bring about positive change. Discuss your ideas in the comments below. So, embrace your potential, ignite your purpose, and become the change you wish to see in the world. Thank you for watching. Continue the journey.